The content presented on the following show is intended for satirical and educational purposes only. The views, opinions, and statements expressed by panelists and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of the host, production team, or channel. Additionally, any third-party content featured in this program is used in compliance with fair use under United States copyright law, which allows for commentary, criticism, news report, teaching, and research. Viewer discretion is advised, and we encourage independent thought and discussion.
Welcome, everyone, to the official debate section of the Charter Review.
All right, I didn't come here to argue with you.
Oh, yes, you did. We're having a debate. Debate ain't nothing but an argument.
Doctor, can we relate? Can we relate? Can we debate? I want debate. I talk the cake. All about cake. Can we debate? Can we debate? Can we relate? Can we relate? Can we debate? I want debate. I talk the cake. All about cake. Can we debate? 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 Can we debate?
Thank you very much. And your rebuttal, Mr. Carville.
We have no response. But that was perfect.
It's time to
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Saturday edition of the Team Fatty Show, Rage in the Cage. This week we're not doing the mic drop, but the lovely ladies are still here, still on the panel. So I appreciate y'all for being here and for helping me out, of course, always. So today we're going to have a debate on the age gap. Is he acceptable or not? We're going to go with that. and we're going to make sure we have fun. Okay, you guys kind of already know the rules, but I'm going to go quickly through that. But before I do, let me introduce my guests. From the left corner, Mr. Cheeky Banter is in the building. Thank you very much for being here, Cheeky.
What's good? What's good? How y'all feeling?
Thank you very much, sir. We have Kelly. She is back and she's in the boot diesel. Thank you very much, Kelly. I appreciate you. We have Mr. Beans, little podcast in the building. Thank you very much, sir, for being here. On the right corner, we have HQ, ready to smack some people in the face. Thank you, HQ, for being here. And finally, last but not least, the lovely Anne. She is in the building. Thank you very much. As the moderating team today, we are going to have Papi Blanco TV. Salute to you, Papi. What's up, brother? We have one of the Untouchables' finest, Nino Nation, in the building. Finally, in the middle, Patty Red. She is ready to go. Thank you very much for being here, Patty Red. So, friends, the rules are simple. We are going to do a 2-hour debate. 2-hour debate. By the end of the show, the last 30 minutes, we are going to answer all the questions from the chat and the debaters. Other than that, is as usual, you guys can summon the Shadow Realm where everything goes. So the Shadow Realm can be activated with $100. If you want to activate another one, the second one is $200. Okay, but for now, focus on what you can do to participate. We're going to respond on the last 30 minutes to every super chat, $20 and up, and we are going to use the Shadow Realm where everything goes. That's the two biggest interactions at the show that you can have with the show. Okay. Other than that, today we're going to do 2 running hours. We're not going to stop the show for the Shadow Realm. So it's 2 hours. We're going to be in. We're going to be out. That's what she said. And it seems like he has a problem if there's 10 years of difference. So we're going to talk about it. Okay. Everybody in the panel, we're ready to go?
Yep.
So let's close the cage. And she had to go to the bathroom. She will be right back. She was crying. She said, I can do this. I thought I was able to do this, but I saw how formidable the other team is. So she's just redoing her makeup. She will be back. Let's close the cage.
At this time.
Get the fuck up! Simon says, get the fuck up!
Yo, you're going nowhere. I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime. Ah!
It's time to do.
So moderators, you know what you need to do. I'm going to start the clock. Let's do rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first. HQ and Kelly at 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Damn.
got you. Cali got you.
That's crazy. Let's motherfucking.
It's time to do.
So the clock is running. Go ahead, Callie. Opening statement or why do you think age gap is okay?
I think after a certain age, you can't really control like who someone wants to date. I myself, once I reached about like 25, I had like older men, so I think that anything under, I'd say anything under 25 is kind of it's weird, but anything over 25, I think it's fair game. I don't see anything wrong with it.
The team, y'all can reply. There's no, the people in the middle are just placeholders. Everyone can jump in. Okay, this is a popcorn style show. I want, if it's possible, people on one side to make a statement and people on the other side to do the same. Go ahead. Who wants to reply to Kelly? It can be me. Kelly.
I'm not understanding. I'm kind of confused though. But she said anything under 25 is weird. But that sounds like
you are on her team, right?
I do. That's what I'm saying.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I just said because it's like if you're like in one case where you're like 50 years old and a 19-year-old, that's, to me, that's just kind of
like, so it's 25 age gap. That's for you too much, or 25 years of age, like dating a woman that is 19 while you are 33.
Yeah, it's more of like
she's not on our team no more.
That's what I told. Well, that's what I told. So I told Fatty, but I don't know. I feel like I feel like at the end of the day, my stance on it is once you reach 18, you can pretty much date whoever you want. It might just not be society's norm at a certain age. But at the end of the day, to me, I still feel that you're obligated to date whoever you want once you reach a certain age.
So if I was 60 and the woman was 18, would you be okay with that?
I wouldn't be okay with that. Like,
okay, so you go to the other side. Sorry, I changed teams. I'm on this side. She is clearly against the age gap. So we are going to change teams. It's team fellas versus team ladies starting now.
Psych!
Who's calling that shit? Who's calling that shit? Who's calling that shit? Who's calling that shit? Who? Yeah. OBO Sound 2025.
It's time to
I feel more comfortable on this side, actually. So thank you very much, Kelly. You did me a great favor.
So do I respond?
No, you respond to me.
Okay.
Now. You respond to me. What Kelly said is, in my opinion, a little bit weird, right? So can these people claim their rights if they are not sane enough to actually have sexual relationship with somebody? Like, are you guys willing to say, this is such a power imbalance that I don't want 60-year-olds that been on this planet for 6 decades and 19-year-olds to have the same power when it comes to voting, when it comes to all the responsibilities that it comes with being an adult. Either you are an adult or you are not. Either you are somebody that can consent to sexual activities or you are not. So which one are they? Are they little children, grown children, or are they grown, mature people that can do their choices? Go ahead, HQ&A, and after that, everybody popcorn, everybody can jump. Okay.
Why that whole dynamic is weird and it's just plain wrong is 3 things. One, a person that age, 60, let's just take, for example, 19 and 60. A person that's 60 has more life experience, 2 or 3 generations, 2 or 3 lifespans of experience past that 19-year-old person. Okay? That person has no clue about events that have occurred on this planet before they were born. There's no way to relate to them relationally. 19-year-old thinks this is important. A 60-year-old thinks this is important. The only thing they might bridge is the sexual gap, and that's it. Another reason why it's wrong is because there's potential manipulation between these two people. This person has all of this life experience, and there's things that they can do and say. They have already been through relationships where if I say this, I know this is going to happen. If I do this, I know this is going to happen. That 19-year-old may not know what is going to happen if this person produces this particular scenario. Like if this person introduces another woman, that 19-year-old may or may not even know how to respond, but that 60-year-old has done this 3, 4, 5 times before, many times before. So introducing that 19-year-old to situations that this person has experienced would be weird and maybe traumatizing for this 19-year-old. And 2, a person.
You made notes? That's crazy.
No, I haven't made notes.
You said you looked out. I saw you looking at the prompt.
I always do that.
But wait. But before you jump to 2, though, right? Because let's address this one, right? So you just made this point. So let's just address this one.
Why I can't get my statement out? Why
because we're engaging into a debate, and then you can go on the monologue.
Okay, the life experience gap. Okay.
Some of us is old, right? So here's the thing. Can you name another relationship where you would have an issue with one of the people having more experience than the other one?
Can I name another relational experience? You mean what? Say it again.
Another relationship. Do you think parents should have an age gap to their kids? Weren't you in the military? Do you think the people who your sergeants, your lieutenants, your generals, do you think they should have an age gap over the infantry and the soldiers coming in? Or do you think everybody should just be super close in age? Can you name another relationship where you would have a problem with the person, one of the people in the relationship having more experience?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to say no because it's off the top of your head. Maybe if you could think about it, you probably could.
I mean, maybe if it was an older woman and younger man, I would have a problem then too. So
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like in any the problem with the age gap argument in itself, and honestly, we can end the show after this, is that the only reason why you use it. The age gap, and then you argue about the experience part, is because you're using it to demonize men, to suggest that men are going to manipulate women. That's it. If you remove that component, the age gap, and as far as it being experienced, has no bearing on the relationship. If anything, it's a positive, because now you're talking about a person who has more experience, so they can lead you. They can keep you away from certain situations that you might not know are bad for you. They won't be trying to take you into situations that are bad for you. They're absolutely will be more in a position to take care of you financially, absolutely more prepared to provide for you and protect you if they have that much of an age gap. And not only that, they're going to be way more settled, right? Less likely to cheat, right? Less likely to be violent.
Okay.
All of these things come into play with a seasoned man versus you being 19. You got with a 25-year-old, and he still think he's 19.
But seasoned man is different from my grandfather.
What's the difference? Is he not seasoned? So where is the age where he goes from? What's the age where he goes from mature to decrepit? Like for what? Like what is the age cut? HQ that I go from I'm a mature bachelor to oh my god, he needs to be on a nursing home.
Well, I think if you're like 15 years older than her, that's too old.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Before we get that, why do we assume that manipulation only goes one way?
Oh shit.
Oh
shit.
That was my exact point.
So again, there's a couple of things that we tend to do, and this is the issue. There's a bias to this question, and it's a moral or ethical bias that most people have when having the conversation, which lets me know kind of the disposition of the person that's speaking. So if you say, as an older man, you can manipulate me as a younger woman, your view on older men is due to whatever experience you have, and you're putting it on the other person. That's called projection. You shouldn't do that. One.
Right.
Two, the second thing is the younger person in the older dynamic, the younger person can be more manipulative. How many times have we seen? How many times have we seen in old people's home where the nurse is caught beating the shit out of the old man because he can't do nothing? One, that's physical. How many times have we caught the person who has fallen for the girlfriend experience to a younger woman who's attractive and knows she's attractive and using her attraction and physical ability to emotionally and financially grate that man? So if we start talking about this dynamic or this idea of manipulation, how far can we go in which way, and how can you prove which situation? You don't know.
Can we ask whenever we want?
Actually, you do know. You do
One
know.
second. You absolutely can. Just make sure if the conversation is being fluid between the participants, as long as they don't do nothing stupid, like just let it ride. But yeah, you can absolutely do it.
Because it's fall right into it, right? So do you HQ? This is for the Blasian and the African warrior in HQ, right? Do you automatically assume when two people are in an age gap relationship that the younger person is automatically being manipulated?
No.
Blasian?
No, I don't automatically assume that someone's being manipulated. It's just, for me, I don't think anyone's being manipulated. What I think is, and I'm going to be completely honest, it's just that, like, when I was 18, you're fresh getting out of high school, and relationships are deep, and I don't know, I just feel like the wrong relationship can steer you off from where your destiny could go. But I guess that could be both ways, whether you're dating within age gap or without. But for some reason, when you're younger, to me, it's more of like you're less likely to really find out who you are.
Did anyone, and don't need to raise your hand, you can literally overtalk us. Anyone broke your heart that was on your age range?
Me?
Yeah.
Check me.
So that's what's the difference? Like, I'm a grandpa. Oh, I'm not paying your mortgage anymore.
Well,
You're
that's
done.
the difference, though,
What?
right?
What is it? Go ahead. Tell us the difference.
If you're a younger woman who's reliant on an older man for her living stability, maybe even schooling, maybe even emotional stability, he can absolutely leverage and weaponize his assets to control her behavior. Like, if it's just me and another dude and we're both broke and we break up, yeah, it sucks, but it hits a little different if I have to now find a new place to live.
Okay.
I don't want broke dudes. But wait a minute. But Ann, here's my question. Even if I conceded to the point that you just made, why is that necessarily having to be the scenario because he's older? Why is it just because he's older, he has to be your economical base? That's a form of manipulation in itself. That you have to depend on his money.
But Beans, that's the assumption, right? We assume that a younger woman and an older man are coming together on a transactional, survival-based relationship.
Scenario.
It's not. The connection is not based off of mutual interest. How can it be? You're 20 years older. You're 30 years older than me. You're not interested in the same stuff.
So, Ed, I'm not sure if you realize what you just did, but you just undermined your leverage.
One mic, fellas.
It's fine, friends. We have 1 hour and 46 minutes. Go ahead.
And hold on, Ann. I want you to understand something.
I know you think I contradicted myself, but if you let me land, you'll see where I'm going. So,
let her land, boss.
The issue is the reason why we assume that these relationships will be relationships based off of power, where one has more power than the other and they leverage it, is because it's a transactional, or we're assuming it's a transactional relationship where people are trading what the other person wants in favor. And so if at any point you like, I can now weaponize my assets to get what I want. And to me, relationships should be based off of mutual reciprocity in terms of love, not on what I get out of you. You coming to me because you're young and beautiful, and I'm coming to you because you can provide, is transactional.
Okay, so let me, but hold on. But listen, because I need you to understand. You're undermining your own point. If you're, I'm trying to explain it to you right now. If the minute that you acknowledge that the relationship is transactional, then it's not manipulation. it immediately is not manipulation the minute you say that, right? I'm not literally what I am doing is saying you're trading in your freedom for my control. That's what you're doing. That's the whole reason why I'm giving you money. I'm not giving you money so you can go do whatever you want to do. I'm giving you money because I need you to be here for me when I need you to be here for me. I need you to dress the way I want you to dress, talk the way I want you to talk. I need you to be the wife that I want you to be, the woman I want you to be. That's why I'm paying you.
This is the thing, though. In a relationship, those are things that you give freely. Those are things that you, as a woman, you happily do in service of your man and vice versa. For you to now tell me this is my expectation and you have to dress like this and this, that, and the third, that is why that relationship is just because it's beyond manipulation and it's beyond transactional.
But that's a very naive take, and I know you want to get in here,
I know,
Cheeky.
because here's the thing. When I'm in a relationship with someone,
But that's
I'm
you.
thinking like most women, when most women are in a relationship with someone, because this is how women relate, right? We relate through bonding and connection. When most women are in a relationship with a man that they care about, we absolutely give and we nurture. That is
Absolutely.
not something you ask me to do.
So
Now,
Cheeky, I know you're finna go. I know you're finna go. I just want to ask her this question. I just want to put it out there. So, Ann, just to throw out a question real quick. So then can you explain to me why it is that all these women who come on these panels, when you name all of the things that they want from a man, usually money is the one thing that they will not accept him not having?
Because women, good, bad, young, old, all want security. Just like men, bad men and good men all want sex, right? Like, it's just the nature of the genders. It is
literally.
you're never
I get that, but and you're admitting that it's transactional.
It doesn't matter if she's in Africa. No, it's because by nature, our nervous systems depend on security. I look to my male partner to protect, provide, and proclaim because I cannot do it in ways that you can. All women need this to feel safe and to feel loving, to give love and intimacy.
That's a horrible argument in 2025.
Well, no, because here's the thing, regardless of all the cultural bullshit you hear,
Mm-hmm.
our biology hasn't changed. Humans are still humans. Men are still men and women are still women on a biological level. And so for a woman to feel safe, regardless if she's old, young, fat, whatever, we all seek security. That is our biological imperative. And
so it makes it transactional.
No, it doesn't make it transactional. See, transactional.
You're trading yourself for the security that the man provides. That literally makes it transactional.
Wait,
wait,
but
wait a minute, hold on.
She said so.
So
wait. There's no need to.
So because it's transactional, so that makes it something other than normal. It's normal.
No HQ.
Wait.
Yo, warrior. African warrior, relax.
One second, please. 1 second. Let's not monopolize the microphone. Let's leave everybody to touch the rock, please. Okay. Go ahead, HQ and Cheeky, and then we go from there. Okay, Popcorn. Go ahead.
Well, I was just expressing the fact that he keeps saying it's transactional, and I keep saying so it's transactional.
Okay,
you want sex, and we want protection.
Okay, so wait. Great, that's Spawn, right? If she's not agreeing with you, your team is not. So I'm gonna ask you a simple question.
Hey,
you're shaking your head. I'm gonna ask a simple question. Huh?
So I'm on the side that age gaps are not good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. HQ, we're okay. Got it.
We're on the same side. Yeah.
So
we just have different perspectives.
If Ann just pointed out a biological imperative in women to look for security, resources, and protection, who do you think is able to provide that? Someone that is older or younger?
A man.
Okay, great. I'm glad he has to have a wait. He has to have testes and a penis. Congratulations. How old do you think it would be, and what the maximum amount of resources and protection? Who do you think provides that? Younger man or a older man?
All men.
I said maximum. See, listen to my words because I know you hear
We
me.
didn't say we needed maximum.
I
We
said-
just said we needed protection
Okay,
and
so
provision. That's all we said.
What
we needed.
woman doesn't want the most she can get?
From the
Look
man
at
she wants.
now. Give me now.
From the man she wants.
now.
I know you think you ate, and you
Well,
and you
okay.
know you did.
Either way it goes, I'm asking a question, and I'm going to need somebody to not be obtuse about answering the question. What person is not going to go with an option that will maximize the security, whether it be physical, mental, or emotional, maybe even sexual and financial?
General, we're all gonna maximize the best we can. Hello.
Okay, so now the question is that going to come from an older man or a younger man?
In modern society, though, the issue at hand is we're dealing with modern progressive Western society. So we cannot assume that I'm coming to you simply for just financial security now.
I didn't say that.
I'm just
That's
saying.
not the answer, though.
What
Come on.
I'm saying is we can't.
Moderator, she not answering the question.
We can't. What I'm saying is to answer the question. Historically, it's been older men.
Hey, letting the flow go.
Higher resources, but because we live in modern society, things have changed. Women are more self-sufficient. They're looking for a different level of security, and sometimes it's emotional. And not all older men have that.
Wait, great. I grant you that. Now, how many women have complained about broke men? Why can't they be happy with just the emotional support and emotional and mental stimulation? Why is it that if they don't get one, but they get two, that's 66%? Why can't you just accept 66? What is it that you're missing? Tell me. The finances. Now, who is going to be the one?
To be honest with you, I think you're pointing out a very interesting contradiction in women. I think.
That's the point, yeah.
Contradiction. Kylie, you can jump in anytime you want to, baby.
So, if I may,
go ahead.
Help your peoples.
I don't want. Fatty, may I continue, Captain?
No, it's not that. It's that y'all like I told you, this is the TikTok kind of thing. Like you're very froggy. Like if the conversation goes a little bit away from you, don't jump to grab it and pull it back to you again. It's fine. But you can.
I wanted to articulate the point.
No, yeah. But you can carry the conversation. It's fine. Go ahead.
We're following.
It's pointing out something that's really interesting in a contradictory nature of women, right? Yeah, you're correct. We absolutely do have these requirements of men where we want financial security, no broke men. But at the same time, we want to be treated as equals. And at the same time, we do not want to enter relationships where it's overtly transactional. It's weird. But at the end of the day, like, no, you're right. It's a contradiction right now in society, but that doesn't change that people, like young women now, absolutely weaponize their youth and beauty and take a look at Shannon Sharp, right? That's a great example. And he's not the first and he won't be the last wealthy Black man who's getting taken advantage of a young Schmeck worker. This is
Warrior, what is a healthy age gap?
Like 4 checkmates already.
The show got to continue, Pac.
Yeah, what is a wealthy age gap?
I think if the person is half your age times 2, if there's like an equation, right? Like then
That's not what I asked. That's not what I asked, baby. Listen.
Hey, Blanco. Actually,
that's the age gap. Anything less than that number.
Okay, Alf. So if Idris Elba or Leonardo DiCaprio or Brad Pitt walk around with a 25-year-old and they are 50, do you see any problem with that?
Kind of weird.
Why?
Also, George Clooney married a lawyer. His age.
Totally fine. A lawyer is still 22. If she's 22, 30, she's 30. No, but that's the point. Why do you see there's a why would you look at it and says why it bothers you?
It bothers me because it's very clear that is a relationship based off of schmection money, which is just elevated.
And this is why you guys are going to lose this debate.
Jesus.
99% of relationships between man and woman have to do either with sex or with resources.
No.
One second. You say because these men can manipulate the woman. These men can manipulate. This is what I'm talking about. These men can manipulate these women with money. And these women can manipulate these men with pussy. And this is what I'm talking about. God damn it.
No, you're right. I think it's no. I'm not gonna lie.
Let me just finish my point, okay? The oldest game since the beginning of mankind, men use power to get pussy. Women use pussy to get power. This been happening since the beginning of time. Nothing changed. And still in 2025, women are using their sexual this potential to get people with resources, while men are using their resources to get women that are beautiful. What changed?
What changed is women are now able to choose relationships not based off of survival. So historically, yes, it made sense because that woman can afford to go get a job or even go to school or even open up her own bank account. But now women are in a position to be in relationships that don't have to be based off of, oh, he just pays.
So you are against woman choice? No, so you are against woman choice? I thought you were a feminist. So you are against a woman saying, you know what? I want to depend financially from a man. I really thought that y'all were, I want the woman to do everything she wants. If she wants to be an astronaut, go ahead and do it. If you want to be a stay-at-home mom, go ahead and do it. Now all of a sudden you are against woman choice? Are you sure?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is women's choice now in modern day society does not have to be strictly based off of can this man provide for me long term.
Then why is that the main thing that they always ask for? Make sure that their man can provide and make. I'm not going 50-50.
Moderators.
Hey, hold on, one mic. I'm new to the job.
Moderators, questions, not statements, please.
You did ask a question.
Here's a statement.
She actually did ask a question, did she?
Thank you.
She did. She said why? Right. Why is the preference is the prerequisite for a question?
Well, I got a statement. Why is it that okay, you say it's transactional, and I get that. It's transactional. It is what it is. It's always been that way. Now, my question is, why do you feel as though that's a bad thing? As though your provision is more important than what I can bring to the table, other things I can bring to the table.
Because it's
hold on.
Go ahead.
Modern women don't need men's money as much as they did in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Money is not really a factor. Protection and provision, that is more important.
Do you want the man with money? Do you want the man with money, HQ?
I would date a person who didn't have money.
No. That was not the question. That what you want? Do you want the man with HQ?
Shout out to the women.
One second. If you could pick, would you want a man that has $1 million so he can take care of everything? Would you be okay with it? What about you, Ann? What about you? Yes or no? Would you, yes, right?
Yes.
What about you, Callie? Oh, so are you? No, 1 second.
It's not the most important.
One mic, please.
I have one last question. How do you guys think you're going to cuff a man with $1 million?
See, look at this.
Now, entertain your pussy. How do you think you're going to cuff a man with $1 million exactly? One second. God, and I can't.
Hold on, Warren.
I'm going to cry. At least listen. The only thing that can make you actually get that man is with sexuality, is with your sexuality. That's the only thing. A man with $1 million is not going to say, "Oh my God, she reads so many books. I'm going to help her."
Fatty,
go ahead.
That doesn't even matter. I don't care if you use sexuality or not. The question is, who is going to be more likely to have more resources? Somebody older or younger?
Someone older.
Yes, but her question was.
Wait.
But she
so
asked
we got an
question
answer
that we're not answering.
We got an answer.
Older. Yes.
We said so we all agree older. If that older man is attractive to you, attractive enough for you to feel something in your tingly spots, emotionally mature enough for you to feel something in your heart, intelligent enough for you to feel something in your brain, and he's 10 years older than you, but he looks good, would you date him?
Of course.
That's you. Now I need it from Ann.
10 ain't enough. That ain't enough. 10 ain't enough.
Well,
10 is enough. That was the step.
I was gonna say that, like, if I'm gonna be completely honest, I think to me
Please
it's
do.
probably just of like trauma or something, like it just like the thought of like someone that much older and that much younger.
Yeah.
For me is more of like a like, and that's why I said it's kind of weird. I'm not like saying you can't do it or I'm like it's a bad thing, because there you can have beautiful relationships and there can be people that like really are truly happy, you know? So I think that's another thing too.
But this is the problem. Hold on, because HQ asked this question. HQ said, "So what if it's transactional, right? Why is that a bad thing?" Well, I can't help it. I'm OCD, right? The problem is this: when Ann first started, right, we was trying to show that once she said that it's transactional, that eliminates the manipulation from the man's side. He's purchasing something. He's buying something. There is no manipulation.
Why is he buying?
Hold on. No. Y'all ain't gonna make me.
The only person
Y'all gonna
buying?
make me wait. Y'all not gonna make me wait, and then don't let me talk.
Yeah,
So
let the man get his shit off.
right? So therefore, it's not manipulation. But the woman is still in the position to manipulate, right? Because especially if he marries her, because now he's under threat of her leaving and draining him financially. Or saying that he did something to her that he didn't actually do and filing a lawsuit for, I don't know, $50 million.
Sorry, Shannon. We feel for you, bro.
Right?
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Even right.
That was so complicated. Oh my God, we feel so sorry for you.
You know she ain't mean that. But even in that situation, HQ, do you see what I'm saying? Even in that situation, even if I concede to you that it's okay for it being transactional, it ain't manipulative on the man's side.
Yeah, but why is transactional a bad word, one? And two, even if it's transactional, you get something in return, just like we get something. We have an equal exchange. It's not a matter of you just providing money and then we just give sex. There's other things that belong in that relationship.
Okay, I see what you're doing. I see what it is. So so HQ, basically you over there on your phone, you ain't listening, because that that question already been answered. It's already been explained to you why it's a problem if it's transactional, when Ann acknowledged that it's contradictory. Right? You want too many things at the same time, and at the same time you want to be paid for it, and at the same time you want to be loved, and at the same time you want to be provided for and protected, and at the same time you want them to be emotionally intelligent, and at the same, like, come on.
But no, we just want a genuine person.
You want him to pay you for him to be your superhero. Ain't that a bitch?
You guys like superheroes.
How is an equal exchange?
But yeah, that is crazy. I just want to say though, the reason why transactional is bad is because we are masking connection. So that means the moment you stop performing for me, then we no longer have a connection.
All relationships are transactional.
Love is not transactional.
Yes, no.
Hey, no.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, because nobody will get into a relationship. Let me finish.
Hold on, darling.
Nobody, and Kelly
don't
can
put
go
that
next
on you
after she replies, and Cheeky. Nobody gets into a relationship if they don't get nothing from it. Even if it's how the person makes you feel, even if it's sex, if it's money, if it's access. People get into the relationship because they see, I saw Ann, I like her neck, I want to choke that shit. That's how people get into relationships.
People don't fall in love.
That's not what love is, by the way. That's lust.
If I don't see no benefit in getting into a relationship with you, how do I get into a relationship with you? What's the reason?
So people fall in love.
People
fall in love.
They fall in love because they think.
Hold on, one mind, ladies.
You ask a question.
To fall in love.
People fall in love because the way I make you feel. I make you feel.
So
good.
therefore, I have no expectation of anything back.
Absolutely.
So that's not transactional.
Oh my God, HQ, can you stop for a second? You ask questions, then you keep talking. If I make you feel good, and I stop making you feel good, what happens?
I still stay in the relationship because I choose to be.
There's no.
Oh my God!
I know.
You see,
That's because our relationship isn't transactional. It's because I choose to be with you.
If the
Why you always lying? Oh my God!
Oh my
Come on, guys. Come on, guys.
Does your teammate agree with that? HQ and Callie, do you agree with what she said?
I'm waiting for Callie. Callie can ask.
Yeah,
So wait,
I was gonna.
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, you said if you this is what you said, Kelly, you got it. If I'm in a relationship because you make me feel good and you stop making me feel good, I still stay. I'm leaving in the relationship.
What I would do if you stop
Now,
making
and you already said what you said. It's fine. We're good to go.
I don't base the relationship off of how I feel, like just like, oh, you
We're
make
not
me
talking
feel
about
this
you.
way.
We are
I
not talking.
base-
We are not
Oh
talking.
my God.
Hey,
Hold on, hold on.
Hey, friends. This is you have to talk about in generalities, right?
Right.
We're talking about most people,
Most
right?
people.
If I'm Cheeky friend because Cheeky has a BMW and he takes us to the nightclub on Fridays, that's the reason I'm his friend. And Cheeky tells his BMW and says, "I'm not going to the nightclub anymore." We are not friends anymore. Like I'm not going to like. That's what most people usually. And why you keep under talking us there? God damn it!
Because I'm just making sure.
No, and you are and you are
Wait, because you told her to.
You can't listen and talk at the same time.
And
Right.
just, one second. You keep doing it. Stop. God damn it. And I know it's not intentional. Nobody think it's funny for us, right? But you are you are overly stimulated. Just chill a little bit. I know it's not intentional. Nobody's going. It's fine. Okay. I'm just saying, if you get with the person for a reason, I see a beautiful fridge. I love that fridge, and I love it. And you turn around and hey, I'm on your house because you have a full fridge. Every time I get inside of your house, I go to the fridge and I get a bunch of food and I eat it. If that's the reason I'm on your house, if you sell the motherfucking fridge or there's no more food in the fridge, I'm not coming to your house anymore because there was a reason. Is that fair? Like, is that a fair statement?
Well,
Kelly and HQ and Cheeky or everybody.
No, it's not fair.
Wow.
That's not what?
No, it's wrong. It reduces you to it reduces our relationship to like you're a tool or I'm a tool or I serve a function. I just love you for who you are. Seeing you happy is enough for me. That's it.
So let me ask you a question then, right? Because we want to, since we want to use personal.
Cheeky.
If we want to use personal.
No, Cheeky, you are Cheeky. You Cheeky.
She
You
just
are
opened up the door.
I love you for you are.
I know.
Why can a 20-year-old woman love a man that is 60-year-old for who he is?
That was.
What?
If you just love me for who I am,
Yeah.
why are we putting a age limit on that love for who you are? I'm just a 60-year-old version of somebody who could be 20, but you chose a 6-year-old. What is wrong with that? Why can't you just love me for being a 6-year-old man with many resources that's attractive and emotionally mature and physically attractive to you and emotionally and intelligent enough to have conversation, talk about philosophy? Why can't you just love me for me as a 6-year-old man? Why can't you do that?
Because more than likely has an equal counterpart who has all of those things, maybe not the resources, but is able to develop a connection with her that makes her feel also intimate with him. The only difference between the two of you is you have the resources, and that's when it becomes transactional. And you become
wait. The only difference is not the only difference is not just because I just have the resources. It's my age. Because if you meet a 24-year-old with the same amount of resources, you would probably be with him. But the likely chance of you meeting that and seeing that is extremely low. One, and then two, the likely chance that he's just sticking with you is the other issue as well. So,
which goes to the point, the 6-year-old becomes a better option because he has the resources
and
compared to the 24-year-old.
And that is honestly most relationships have some type of benefit that they are enjoying for an extended period of time, which allows them to stay in it. I'm gonna, since we've been saying not me though, right? All of the women have been saying not me. How many relationships have y'all been in? And then why did they end?
It took you long enough.
So we'll start with Callie. Callie, how many relationships have you been in? And why did they end?
I was in 4 relationships.
Why did all 4 of those relationships end?
The first relationship I had was in high school.
Okay.
And he had moved to a different state at that time. And then the others cheated on me.
Okay. So it sounds to me like they stopped providing something. Everything doesn't have to be monetary or materialistic, but something was provided to you that you enjoyed and you thought was safe enough to continue to enjoy, but something stopped, whether it be loyalty, honesty, something that you received in transaction for this person stopped happening. So now the transaction is over. Agreed.
Yeah.
So all relationships are transactional, whether they be metaphysical transactions, mental or emotional transactions, or purely sexual or financial. There is a transaction in relationships. And if you say you love me just for me, then I would love to see you with somebody terrible and follow through on that. But that won't be the case because that's not a good transaction.
Should have asked Ann this question.
Go ahead, Ann.
Want to run the clock?
So, out of curiosity, I do not think parents are parents or enjoy being parents because of the way their children transaction with them. Parents show up for their children out of a pure love and duty for that child.
Different kind of love.
If that child stop,
I want to see.
No. Let's just
all
finish.
relationships are transactional. He just said all relationships are transactional. A parent-child is a relationship.
And it's transactional.
And it's transactional.
And it's transactional.
So you mean to tell me a mother would stop loving her infant if that child stopped what exactly?
Okay, so wait. The problem with the question, the problem with it, you have to reframe it. You have to reframe it because it's not love. It's not about stopping loving. It's about whether or not they would stop their duty, right? We're not talking about not loving. Callie just talked about leaving a relationship not too long ago. I guarantee you she still loved that dude when she left, right? So it's not about not loving.
Right.
It's about whether or not you'll stop doing the duty, right? So when a lot of parents absolutely kick their kids out the crib, absolutely,
and they love them,
and they still love them.
So to be
Wait,
clear,
hold on. Let this play out. I need to see cognitive dissonance in real time is beautiful. Go ahead.
Don't do that. That's some grace. Sorry, Ann. He's being rude. Go ahead.
Well, not all parents do that, right?
Of course not.
I was out with the house at 18. So
in my household, your home is home. You can come whenever you want, even if you're 50.
So we just gotta not all.
Wait. Hold on.
That is beautiful.
No. Wait. Stop. We didn't get not a whole argument. We got people to agree that there isn't transaction. If you were disobedient, disorderly, disrespectful, didn't abide by any of the rules of the house, and you told your mom and your dad F you every time you walk through the door, do you think you'd still be able to stay there?
No.
You're still doing your duty.
So it seems. Wait. Hold. Let me finish. So there seems as if there's a transaction between resources and respect. If you respect me, you have access and wealth to all of my resources. How many people do we know can get cut out of a will? Bloodlines will get cut out of a will. It's transactional. If you do not show me a proper respect, if you do not adhere to these rules, if you do not follow through on these things, you will not receive these other things. What would you call that?
A conditional transactional relationship.
Yep.
And that is what
checkmate.
And that is 5. And that is. Go ahead. Aaron.
I think there's a difference between a transactional relationship where I am only here for the function and in a relationship where I show up because I care and love you.
And you know what's funny? I picked this relationship. The relationship with my dad and my mom, I didn't have no choice. If I pick you, I think that's actually stronger because I picked you. It's not something that just came out of like, oh, I came from this woman, I came from this man, and now I have to build a relationship with these people because I'm their blood. If I go out of my way to pick you, it's actually intentional. It's not something that came from chance. So if two people intentionally decide I'm going to be with this person, who are we to disqualify that shit when we don't disqualify a motherfucker having a kid at 70 and we say, oh my God, he looks like his grandpa. Still is dead. And he didn't choose that shit. But we, for whatever reason,
And no,
like,
but Fatty,
go ahead.
But Fatty, I said, but because I just want to make sure this lands though, right? Because you're, of course, I agree with you, right? But the biggest thing is, are we gonna change people's mind? Probably not, right? Okay, cool. We can't change your mind, but we should be able to get you to realize this. When you yell out the manipulation part, ladies, you're checkmating yourselves. Because you have more of a leeway to be manipulative in a relationship when the man is way older than you than vice versa. See, all they do is they try to say he gonna tell her this and he gonna try to get her to do this. And I heard a girl say the other day, the reason why I don't think it's right is because she ain't gonna get to live her life. And I want to ask her, I was reviewing the video, what does that mean? You're basically saying she ain't gonna get to have a whole phase. That's basically what you're saying. Because think about it. What is it that she won't be able to do now just because she has a man or an older man in her life?
Okay, so we're saying that an older man and a younger woman, you don't think there's it's minimal manipulation involved, right?
Okay. From the man's side, yes.
From the
May I
man's
say something really quick? If we were to flip this, what if it was a school teacher who was 40 and engaging with sexual acts with someone who was like 17?
There's
right?
nothing wrong with that.
Is the school teacher a man or a woman?
We do all people.
I saw what you did there. I saw what you did there. No, one second.
Adults only.
1 second.
Okay, let's say he's 18.
Okay,
That's
so
wrong.
there's two things that are problematic on that one, right? Is the power imbalance. It's like incest, right?
Oh, there's a power imbalance.
You have to let me finish, please. That student didn't choose to be on the grasp of that man power and influence. It just was introduced there. So now this is like incest. A brother and a sister, a dad and a son. There's like, you're going to confuse people. There's that might be have grooming inside of it. Like that person might not be doing decisions just because they actually wanted to. Then probably is something that influenced that person to actually do that decision. But if a 20-year-old and a 60-year-old meet each other and they decide to get in each other's circle, that is actually voluntary. So
I agree. Because I think 20 can date whomever they want. Just teen, the word teen I don't like. I don't like saying,
no, it's not even Callie, it's not even that. The thing is, can a teacher and a student date each other 18 and 45? Absolutely, if they are not in the same school. Thank you very much. You can get it. The microphone is yours.
Then we shouldn't have a problem with Dre and Michelle dating the young
Who has a problem with that shit? Nobody has a problem with that.
Why do you have a big old deal for her doing that?
Who has a problem with that?
He manipulated him.
I'm the one that had a problem with it. Who had a problem with it?
No, but HQ, the reason why that is because it's only used as a trump card to play against women when they try to say the reverse or the opposite. It's like, well, why y'all ain't saying nothing about her?
Yeah,
right? We could point that out just to show that it happens on the other side too. And that you don't necessarily look at it the same way. You don't demonize her in the same way that you would demonize the man.
But I do. I think
you guys demonize a female worse.
You guys remember what's
no, that's not the point.
Yeah, but that's different though.
You guys have to listen to him. The point is the hypocrisy. Y'all are going to turn around and say, oh my God, look at Leonardo DiCaprio grooming all these 25-year-olds. He's old enough. He should have a woman of his own age. And then when Dre Michelle does the same thing and you go to the shade room comments, get your bag, girl. You know, you got it. Like you contradict yourselves because it doesn't benefit you. So it's not that we are against that. It's that you are inconsistent with that situation. Okay. And by the way, all of y'all dated men older than all. When I say y'all, most of y'all dated men way older than y'all. So when y'all were doing, that was perfectly fine. And as soon as other people do it, I hate that shit. Why is she doing that shit? People have free will. If you are okay with people doing their own motherfucking choices, you can't stop the game when it's not your turn.
I think it's, as a society, though, we should have moral standards and ethical standards. And a lot of young women enter relationships with these power or these age gaps, not fully aware of the way in which a person can influence her, and vice versa. It can be male or female. It doesn't have to be. It's not that, because the thing is, the age gap is the difference. It doesn't matter if the older person is a female or a male. It's the fact that the older person has the capacity to influence a younger person.
And you have a pussy.
But you're not making the argument why it's immoral. You're just saying it. You're just making the statement.
As a society, we usually have we're consistent, right? So we know sexual harassment is bad. We know certain power dynamics are inappropriate at work. We don't hold that same standard in dating. And that is why we have the issue, I think we do in dating. Where so many.
I'm gonna say it one more time, and I'm not trying to cut you off, but Ann, here's what I'm saying. If I say right now, if I just say Ann is ugly, right? I have to say why. I can't just say that, or it's just a statement, right? I have to say, oh, her nose is this, her eyes is this, her lips is this. Even though you're not ugly, everybody knows that, so I shouldn't even have to qualify. But I'm just saying, you're saying, well, it's immoral. Tell me why. What about it is immoral?
Tell me why.
Because, like I said, if an older person is going into a relationship where there's this power imbalance and it's a transactional relationship, meaning I am only going to be here as long as there is this, I'm getting my needs met, and then you're getting your needs met. Otherwise, that doesn't happen. I know that, to me, is exactly why relationships can be harmful, because we take away the humanity from the person and we make them an object of our function.
Okay, so Ann, here's the thing, because you said that's not a moral argument. I know you may think it is, but I promise you it's not. Just take the time. Well, hold on, just listen to me for 1 second. I'm older. Trust me, I know y'all don't give a shit about people being older. I wouldn't lead you wrong.
Damn.
That's not morality, what you're talking about right now. But let's just say I conceded to it, right? So we can move the conversation forward. I want to thank you for making that argument, because you just gave every man on the planet the only argument they will ever need against marriage.
That's crazy.
Yes, you did.
Let me ask this.
Say what you said. Say what you said one more time so the audience can hear it.
No.
Hey, you know why? And by the way,
no.
Let me just say this real quick, right? Like, and this is women are against everything that takes their advantage when it comes to dating. Having a vagina between your legs is the biggest manipulating tool in the history of mankind. You won't be homeless as long as your shit working. You will never be homeless. There's always somebody that is willing to take care of your kids, to give you a room, to put food in your. That's manipulation, and we don't blame you for that. You got it. You won the lottery. Congratulations. You have the most powerful currency in the planet that is legally accepted everywhere. We don't come. It's very unfair that you can sell pussy and I can sell dick. That's fair. That's unfair. There's a power imbalance. But as soon as the man gets the great equalizer, which is money, as soon as the man gets the great equalizer, which is experience, that's unfair, because that's going to be unbalanced. I will say this, right? Age gaps actually are healthy, because a 25-year-old man is not going to be able to compete with a 25-year-old woman. I'm sorry. That woman will run laps after him. She can replace him on a dime. She can do a bunch of things that the man can't do. You know how you mitigate that? By having a man that has 15 years of motherfucking monetary gain and has a little bit more experience, so he actually knows how to handle a woman and not fall for the pit of, you don't let me wear this shit because you're insecure. I'm 45, lady. I'm not falling for that shit. You're not going to get it.
Fatty, let me say this real quick, just so I make sure the whole audience here, right? Everybody watching, because she didn't want to repeat it. This is what she said. She said, the problem with it is because it's a power imbalance and it's transactional, and I'm only there to get my needs met, right? Concede. And I'm gonna ask Cheeky, is that exactly not what men are complaining about marriage right now?
Yeah.
It is exactly. It's a power imbalance. Y'all have all the power. Soon as we marry you, now you get to take me to court. You get to take my money. You get to take my kids. You get to take my name. You get to take my 401k. You get to take my retirement. It's a power imbalance.
Oh, but Beans, I
Shout out
forgot
to you for that.
Beans, I forgot. It gets worse if you have more money.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you have more money, it's worse off for you. But the thing that I just for on Ant's position, the thing that I think for Ant's position is we're saying that older men influence, but our influencers aren't older people. They're always younger. They're always younger. They're always younger in our age, right? Like there's nobody. I'm sorry, there is no 60-year-old that I can think of that's popping on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and whatever.
Joe Rogan, the motherfucker is 58.
And who now? If you voted for Donald Trump and you lean to the right, you know who that is. Let me. But what I'm saying is, for the person that is just the person that's just on the average TikTok, YouTube, these streamers, how old do you think Casanat is? How old do you think Black Boy Max is? How old do you
They're
think
under like 23.
My point is, when you're saying older men can have this influence, I don't think that's the case. Older people don't seem to have this influence. It's younger people, and guess what? Younger women, or the Miss Sprinkle girl, that's a woman. Guess what she's telling women to do? Look for older men, so you can run their pockets.
Are you saying are you making an argument right now for men not being able to have influence over those younger girls?
For the most part, yeah. Like, how much influence can you actually have when your influencers are not even male? One, most females do not watch male content creation. Most females watch female content creation, which means female influencers, which means female messaging. So whatever we see from women is coming from women. I'm sorry.
Can we solve something real quick, ladies? Wait, real quick. Hold on, Ann.
Hold on, one mic.
You got a mic, Ann. Let me ask you a question. Ann.
Don't worry, baby.
Because I want to know. And matter of fact, Ann, HQ, and Callie, is there a difference? But can we concede that there's a difference between, or at least not concede, but agree, there's a difference between influence and manipulation?
Yes.
So when we look at manipulation, it's a negative connotation, not necessarily with influence, right?
Correct.
Okay, well then, if y'all are arguing influence, I'll concede to that.
Influence is healthy, good. We influence each other all the time. Manipulation.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're arguing that the older men can influence the younger girls,
no, we're not. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not in age gap and why it's a problem. We're talking about manipulation being a problem. Influence is going to happen.
It is. That's what we disagree.
No, but it would be influence though, right? Because it's just like when you look at on both parties, they influence each other.
Yeah, but
younger can bring more, and then more of the excitement and the fun, and then the older can bring more of like the security.
Are you saying the younger person can get the older person to do stuff that they probably wouldn't be doing if they went with a young person?
Correct. And then the older person can kind of like be there to experience that with her. I don't know, like they're more likely going to be able to do that because if they're the same age and they're young, they probably don't have the funds to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Unless they were just born rich.
So again, this is all based off of perception. If we're saying the word influence and the connotation behind it is positive, and the word manipulative is negative, and the reason why we're so worried about the age gap dating is because men can be manipulative, implying some negative experience. How does that change from dating in general? Isn't that just a risk that you take in dating, whether you be old or young or same age, or that's just the risk of dating and involving yourself with somebody that you're attracted to? That's dating. The issue is not dating older, because if you look at the average date gap, it's only 2 to 3 years. And we don't agree that that's too much, but yet we have all these problems. So if the average is 2 to 3 years, maybe we should bump it up a little or maybe take it a little lower to figure out if there's any room in the more extremes, because we're having problems already as is when the average is 2.2 to 3 years.
I
So
think
maybe
I'll agree to that because the relationships they were always within 2 to 3 years. I've never dated anyone older than that, and it was just always, and lust was always just like, because guys when they're that young they're bunny hoppers sometimes. So
You know what's crazy to
So-
me,
so
HQ?
when-
I don't know if
most
you're hearing
likely
this, but HQ
right through
is.
that.
Can you hear this right now, HQ? If I'm hearing it, if I'm like encompass this whole conversation to this point, this is what I'm hearing right now. There's manipulation and there's influence, right? As it pertains to influence, the only way you're going to influence a woman as a man, two reasons: either she likes you or you're paying her, right? If I'm paying you, then it's not manipulation. So that goes away. And we're talking about the age gap thing. So we're talking about young girl, older man, right? So 9 times out of 10, according to Ann, right, she don't even like this older guy. So if she don't like him, then he's not necessarily influencing her, and he's not manipulating her because it's transactional. He's paying her, which means what's the issue?
You're confusing the manipulation aspect because manipulation implies a lack of free will. If we know what the terms and conditions are, then it's not manipulation. Manipulation means we are distorting reality in order for one party to get a desired outcome intentionally. Manipulation is really about replacing respect with control.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. Okay, so let's take away the paying part. Let's take that out for a second. Let's say that the younger girl is with the older guy and it's not transactional. It ain't no money. So what does the manipulation look like? Give me an actual tangible example. I can open my blinds right now and see it.
Come back to me. Let me think about it.
But I will. But this is the thing I want to point out. Y'all notice when we ask women the questions to give us something direct, you see how difficult it is for them to do it? Because a lot of this is just programming. A lot of this is just they supposed to think this way and believe this way. They haven't actually processed it for themselves. They're just supposed to talk like this. But when you actually put it on the burner and say, cook something up for me, they can't really do it because if as a woman, I'm only listening to you because I like you or because you paying me. So if I remove the element of you paying me, I'm listening to you because I like you. That's it. And I'm not trying to say that manipulation don't exist. I'm not saying that. There's coercion in a lot of situations, right? Cheeky, can you explain to me how a pimp can get a woman to go sell her body and give him all the money?
Manipulation.
Right? I can't do it at all, right? So I'm not trying to say that manipulation does not have its place, but that's what I'm saying. We making it seem like if the girl, like the girl in the video I was telling you about, Cheeky, she's making it seem like if this girl get with this man and just get married and have kids, that somehow she ain't living a life.
Right. And that's
meanwhile, Marlon Wayans' mama was 17 years old when she was pregnant with her first kid. Kept having kids for the next 17 years old, had her last kid on the 34th birthday, and they was together, and she died at 81, the husband died at 83, and they was 2 years apart. I'm just saying, like.
But then you also have the R. Kellys.
What? But okay,
but
I'm saying, wait, but before you move the goalposts, what is it that she's not? What are you missing? What are you not experiencing? How is he manipulating? Y'all have to give us some examples of what this looked like. Because at this point, all I'm seeing is a girl that's either getting paid to like a dude or she like a dude. So she doing what he want to do because she like him.
The best way I could describe it is like this, because we're taking all the financial aspect out of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It's like, let's say she wants to go to college,
okay.
right? Let's say all her life she's been praised for her intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets a full ride scholarship to like Harvard.
Right.
And she meets a man who's 3 times her age.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of encouraging the qualities that make her her and the qualities that are unique to her as an individual, he only encourages the qualities in her that he likes that would benefit him. So like in this example, she's really excited. She goes to him, do you think I should go to Harvard? And he says, you know what? You are so smart. I think you would be better off just staying here and getting a job and not taking all that debt. And I'll take care of you. Or
I
whatever.
thought you said she was intelligent.
But like he only encourages the qualities in her that would at the end be beneficial to him. Oh, you're so mature, you're so smart. You can make this decision on your own. You can go get that loan. Like you can do this by yourself.
Right.
It's just it's not actually looking at the individual as a person and encouraging them. You only encourage the things that you know will benefit you in the long run, money or not. Does that make sense?
Wait,
and I guess
I get the example. I get the example. That's to me. I think that falls under
even in that example
more than manipulation, though.
Right. Like
sorry.
Even with that example, that sounds like influence, right? Because at the end of the day, you can't stop an autonomous being from doing anything. If she's known to be intelligent, and she's herself is known to be like so this is where we're having an issue. If you're having self-image or self-doubt or some type of imposter syndrome, and you are in a relationship with somebody who is influential, that's not his fault.
Correct.
That's so if
I agree with that. He's just
okay. So,
but what I'm talking about here
but
is
do you not understand? Wait, but Ann, let's address what you said though. Do you not think that that's what most like? I don't want to say all men, so I'm gonna just say like I'm gonna give you a number. Do you not think that that's like what 80% of men actually want from their woman is for them to be the best version of the woman that they want? Don't
not
all
all men. Not all men. Some men
Okay,
do not want
that's why I
to.
say 80.
Some men do not want to encourage that because it might mean he won't be able to have influence over her reality.
okay, so
This is
with
why
that
we're
being
talking about this dynamic.
sure, okay. So how does that change from age 60 to 20?
Wait, 60 to 20?
Yeah,
what I'm saying is, how
man
does,
or 60-year-old man. Yeah.
let me make it more clear. Let me make it more clear. How can we say that age is the identifier for that negative intention? How can you say that?
Regardless of the gender of the person, with age comes experience, financial stability, also emotional and intellectual maturity.
Right, granted.
With those assets, that empowers you to have power over those who do not have those same resources, intelligence, et cetera, et cetera. So with your ability to influence, you can guide someone, right? And you can advise people. They don't have to listen to you, free will. But because you have that advantage, when you enter a relationship with someone and you use your intelligence, maturity, et cetera, to encourage a younger person to do something you know might be not in their best interest, but it's in your best interest, it benefits you. That is where the problem lies.
Even if
wait, hold on, wait. Even with that being the case, you still haven't explained how evil intentions is linked to age.
Okay.
You're saying what's possible. We get that.
Age, regardless of the gender, comes with benefits. So if you and I go to a bank,
it's going to repeat it.
Sure.
And I have an 800 credit score and you have a 500 credit score. Because I have an 800 credit score, my interest rate's going to be lower. That source allows me to have more advantage comparatively, correct?
Yeah, okay.
So in a similar sense, age is the credit score in this.
Okay, so great. Now my question is, why do you think I'm going to be tyrannical with my 800 credit score?
So I can't assume that you are going to be.
And that is the point. That's the point that I'm trying to hint at. I'm not saying. So let me make it clear. I'm not saying I disagree with the possibility or even the ratio being higher for a older person. But the question that we have to ask is, why are we assuming that somebody older has these evil intentions? Are we saying that older people are just more evil? Or are we saying just because they have? Are we saying just because they have that extra experience, have that extra experience with dating and being able to use their words, that they're more susceptible to use it? And my question would be, or not my question, but we're in agreement there. That's the common ground. It may happen, it may not. But the thing that I'm noticing is age doesn't matter in regards to that, because I know too many 25-year-old girls who are dating 25-year-old boys, men, whatever you want to call them, I'm not trying to be offensive, and they're getting played. And if they were dating a 60-year-old, it wouldn't matter because they still get played. It sounds to me like that it sounds to me like there's a level of things that we're not attributing to a individual. It depends on the individual's emotional intelligence. It depends on the individual's autonomy and decision-making skills, their intelligence, their ability to be able to talk with a parent or parental guidance or whatever. But these factors don't have anything to do with the person who's manipulating. It has everything to do with you.
Agreed. The reason why, when it comes to the age dynamic between genders, it gets a little spicy, is because we assume that a 60-year-old would only be engaging with a 20-year-old for one specific reason.
What's that?
Access to her
box.
Her coochie.
Okay. Hold on.
That's exactly what I was thinking in my head. Because the whole time I was like, what would a 60-year-old want with a 19-year-old? What can she provide him of substance for him to be like, oh, so just the thought, and that's what I was gonna say this whole time. Like, that's why I said it's just the thought of it makes it feel just weird. Like,
this is so crazy to me. Hold on. Did you hear what you just said?
Right? All men do want coochie, but the transactional aspect of it,
it's just weird because she's young, that much younger. That's why.
Yeah,
younger women look better.
Why do we keep bypassing that she is an advertisement of just her box? She's an OnlyFans model. Why don't we ever acknowledge that she put herself in a category almost equivalent to a whore, if not a hoe, and he's just doing what hoes and whores have been doing for a long time, paying for something very transactional.
Because he has access to women. Sorry, go ahead. He has access to women.
The thing is that they say, like, when an older woman date a younger guy, HQ will say that's empowerment, right?
No.
When women say that, because girl, you got it. When an older woman is dating, a younger guy, they say that's empowerment. When it's an older guy dating a younger woman, they say that's predatory. Why is that was
predatory?
They're both predatory.
Okay, because I knew that was gonna happen. So let's do this. Let's, just so we don't gaslight Papi Blanco, how Stella got her groove back, and then let's just move forward. So we don't have to pretend like he just made that up and pulled it out of his ass. We can just accept it. Okay.
No, but we're saying that we don't agree with it. So even though it might be the other majority,
that's fine. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's fine. We don't. We could just move past it. We don't got to get stuck there.
Well, if
what you said is true. You know what
if
you
y'all don't agree with it, right? Then why is it most of y'all descriptions lean towards the male? I haven't heard one time y'all be like, well, when a woman is with a younger man, she's manipulative. It's always the man. The man is doing this. The man could do that. So if it's both sides, why don't y'all attack it from both sides?
Because it's
and has all show long.
Because it's a small percentage of women who are dating younger men as opposed to older men who are dating young women. It's a small percentage. It's only 1 to 2% of a 20-year age gap between people. So it's only 1 to 2% of the population. So it's not that many.
Also,
so HQ, wait, real quick, and HQ, do you have as much of a problem with the manipulation factor as Ann does?
Yeah, if it's a 20-year age gap, yes.
Okay, so I'm saying manipulation in itself. Do you have a problem with manipulation in itself?
Manipulation in this meaning
manipulation in itself.
Reality.
Manipulation as manipulation.
Yes. I have
okay. So then you also have a problem with women manipulating men with mascara and BBLs and boobs and Instagram.
How is that manipulation? No, I don't understand.
You are using your sexuality to get what you want. And you know what's funny? It's not even yours. At least the money is mine. I'll earn the shit. Like it's not even yours. Your eye heels, your padded bras, your makeup. That's not you. So
she bought it.
HQ. Then you graduate from Harvard.
Wait. She bought it. Wait, hold on. She bought it.
No, I'm just saying.
When a man
I'm just
buys that box, he just bought it.
Yes, just like you buy that motherfucking booty with BBL. Yes,
he bought it. Damn.
We don't talk about young men, right? At the age of 11, 12, who have had sexual experiences with women who are 30, who are older. And we don't talk about, there are absolutely women who are predators, who seek out young boys. There are so many women who've been like, oh, he's going to be really hot, like sexualizing children, boys, just because he asked.
One second. Hey,
get out of there.
And we don't, you know what's funny? We don't have a problem with that. I'm going to be very honest about this shit. When 27-year-old female teacher have sex with 17-year-old, we're like, oh, okay, go to jail, right? Because you kind of break the rule. But the damage is completely different. And I'm going to be honest about it. Let's go back to the safe zone.
It's not.
I, as an 18-year-old, will make you pop Plan B pills like that shit was Skittles. I don't give a fuck. Hey, this is the reality for most people. You are in danger when you are with somebody of your own age, because both of us at 18 didn't have no idea what the fuck we're doing. I was going to the drugstore and they were like, you again? What the fuck are you doing here again? Right? If I'm an older man, I'm comparing Fatty with Fatty. Fatty at 19 years old and Fatty at 35. I can take care of you. I will make sure that your body's not going to be all messed up because you're popping these Plan Bs. If you want to come to my house, I have enough money to order an Uber so you can be safe. I can make sure that I can talk with your parents and I have a kind of a conversation man to man instead of you better take care of my daughter, right? Like, I am a superior man. You are in better hands with me at 35 than you are with me at 19 because we're both dumbasses. So why do you assume the worst possible scenario on the older man instead of saying, you know what, this man has been on the field for 15 years. He actually probably know how to deal with woman, contrary to his 18-year-old that didn't know shit about shit. All he wanted to do is fuck like rabbits and pray to God that he doesn't get his woman pregnant. It's always this shit. Like, we have to be honest. We are better men at 35 we were when we were in our teens. For the most part, of course. There's always the exceptions.
Outliers.
Yes. So what is the point of turning around and saying, you guys can be manipulators? I was such a big liar at 10, 19. Oh, you have big titties? Oh, you're going to be the mother of my kids. Oh my God. I dreamt about you yesterday. No, I didn't. There's a motherfucking lie. Like, we as kids, we will do anything and everything to get inside of you. We as grown-ups, half of us are out of their game. We're just like, man, no, you know what, man? If she comes, she comes. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I don't understand how that's dangerous. I don't understand how my 25-year-old dating Leonardo DiCaprio at 50 is different from dating him at 25. You see what I'm saying? Motherfucker still Leonardo DiCaprio. Do you think he's not going to fuck other bitches or want to have access to other women? What's the difference?
I just think it's the emotional maturity level. A young person, they're just starting out. They haven't experienced all the things that a person that age has experienced. That person may be susceptible to feelings and the manipulation quicker than a woman that's 40. A woman that's 19 hasn't seen the manipulation just to have sex primarily as much as a woman who's 40. Right. So she knows how to run that down. She doesn't know how to avoid that because she thinks she's always in love at 19, as opposed to a person who's 40 who understands that's not love, it's just sex. And I guess it feels as though that person would be manipulated quicker than a 40-year-old woman. And it just, maybe the age gap is okay, but I just feel like she's manipulated more or she's influenced more at 19 because she hasn't lived as much as he has.
But what Chiki
But
said,
what if-
why do you assume that influence is negative? I can influence my younger brother. I can influence 14-year-olds playing basketball. I can influence y'all on the panel if I give you correct information to go on a certain way. Why do you assume that a 20-year-old dating a 30-year-old is not going to have the good influence and the woman is not going to get to 30 and says, you know what? I'm not with that dude anymore, but he taught me so many things. He put me on so much game that now I'm ready to get my husband because that 30-year-old actually got with me and he taught me the ropes. While Robert, the 20-year-old, the only thing he wanted to do was go into Miami and fuck me on the back of his car. Like, why do you assume influence is negative?
women.
Well, I'm not naturally assuming that it's manipulation. I'm saying 9 times out of 10, a 60-year-old man is not looking at a 19-year-old saying, "I want you to be the mother of my children." He's not really looking at her for that. So I'm saying, in a certain way, it's not a healthy dynamic if you're just looking for her sex. As opposed
Jesus
to
Christ. Do y'all not listen to yourself talk? First you were arguing that it's okay for things to be transactional, and now you're arguing against it.
No, I'm not arguing against transaction. I'm not arguing
literally
against, I'm saying
if
that
the man
age
only
gap-
if the 60-year-old wants the 19-year-old girl to have sex with her,
I'm
and we
saying
know
that
that relationship is going to be based, but we know that relationship is going to be based on is going to be transactional.
I accepted the relationship
HQ, can you park the car there? Do you think any man got into a relationship with you without sex? Any man that you had, Kelly, do you think any man said she's going to be my friend? She looks like a really good friend. I'm not like all of our relationships are based on sex. That's what men want you for the most part. So a 24-year-old will look at you and says, I want sex from you. And a 65-year-old is going to say, I want sex from you. Both of them want the same thing. The only difference is that you might be able to manipulate the 25-year-old to do what you want him to do. The 65-year-old comes in with the contract and says, there's the money here, you shut the fuck up here, and we good to go. And you don't like that shit. You don't
Fatty,
like the fact you can pull it down.
Fatty, I'm about to report you.
Yes.
Do you hear what you just said?
What did I say?
That is crazy. So you saying, Fatty, that the real reason why they have a problem with it is because they can't manipulate the older guy.
Absolutely. They will get the standard. They will get the standard baseline, and there's nothing that moves that man from that if he doesn't want to be moved. The 25-year-old, yeah, baby, okay, I will work the extra hours for us to go to Paris. Yes, baby, I know you're on your period, so no sex. The 65-year-old doesn't have those type of flexibility. He wants what he wants. You know what he wants. So every time you see him, you treat him like I'm your boyfriend. We hump and we bounce. If you can manipulate him into actually want you to do what you want you to do, that's why you call it predatory, because that's the number one game, woman. It's the number one game. I like you. I don't get what I want. You manipulated me. Oh my God. It's always like that. If a man can be manipulated, it's always bad for him to be with a woman because he is not under your control. That's all. It's about control. It's not about sex. It's not about age gaps. It's about me being able to control the person next to me. And that older man, for the most part, is going to be way more difficult to control than the person that is your age and is still wet behind the ears.
Wait. HQ, Cali, or I dare either one of y'all to make an argument against the argument that the real issue is that you can't manipulate the younger women can't manipulate the older men. Because see, I'm so glad he said that, because the point I was trying to make earlier is that to me, everything women do is manipulation. This is why I was asking HQ directly, do you have a problem with manipulation? Because that's all y'all do is manipulate in every relationship. So is it the real problem that the younger girl can't manipulate the older man, or can you actually present an argument against that?
May I?
Boom, bing,
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead, lady.
You guys are quiet now.
What's interesting about what Fatty said was most relationships are based off of manipulation when it comes to women, and that older men are harder to manipulate. And so the reason why there's a resistance when it comes to age gap dating is because men who are older are harder to manipulate because for whatever reason, they aren't wet behind the ears. They can say no, they have more boundaries, etc. And what's interesting to me at the foundation of that argument is this. He is recognizing that age and older people have the capacity to make more decisions based off of free will. And based off of that free will, because they are older, that might protect them from manipulation. So, and if I concede and say, okay, being older could protect you from manipulation, then can you also understand how being older can make you more manipulative than a younger person because of your
No. You know why? Because we are not symmetric. You can manipulate me better at 22 than at 55. I can prove it. I can prove it. I will bring.
Prove it.
I will bring. No, I'll prove it. I will bring 5 50-year-olds to my Discord, and I will bring 5 25-year-olds to my Discord. I will let them run loose, and we are going to see who gets more from men. If it's the 50-year-old woman that have experience and they know how to be on this planet, or the motherfucking 25-year-old young woman that literally left college, but they are voluptuous. Their breasts are not hanging. Their ass is still in place. They still don't have a fupa. And you see that respectfully,
A diaper booty.
age is only like what they say, mother nature gives everything to woman, and father time takes everything from them. We are not
father time. You just said an older man wouldn't be manipulated by a younger person.
Oh, one mic, please.
My parachute. I can do and be more manipulative because father time is on my side. Father time is against you. So I don't care how much experience you get. As long as you get older, for the most part, you are going to lose the power to manipulate people because you are more experienced. But that's not why I want you. I want you because you look good, and now you look worse than you look when you were 25. Go ahead, you got it.
So, hey, Fatty, a little confusion. I'm just asking for clarity.
Go ahead, lady. I got you. I'm sorry. I called you out lady.
If you were to do this,
because I'm a lady.
If you were to do this, or you got it, Kelly, go ahead.
No, okay.
No,
so
no. Let
go ahead, Anne.
Let just rebuttal because she got depressed.
No, I don't have anything.
No, man, why you got depressed now? It was so good.
Go ahead, Kelly.
And you got to fight back.
Go ahead, Kelly.
I was gonna say I have a different perspective. I think that it was when Beans had made a statement, you guys are conditioned to think this way. It kind of, that's been playing in my head this entire conversation. And I started thinking about, damn, like when I was younger, I'm telling, you're told to, you don't want to date too older and stuff like that. Like, that's just always what it was. So as you get older, it's hard to disassociate yourself from what the proper, if there is a proper age gap or not, because you've been so conditioned to think that this is right. And you don't want to, you're also afraid of the thought of too young. Does that am I making any sense with you guys?
Absolutely.
It's been spinning in my head because I really listen to what you guys say, and it's just been really spinning in my head. So at what point do we say, okay, that does no longer apply? Because you also have that fear of too young is still, not society's norm, and or you don't want to cross that bridge of that other side you don't want to go to, so
that makes a lot of sense, actually. But I want to say this to Ann real quick, just really quick. Ann, you actually did make a good argument. I'm not even being facetious.
It was a good argument.
It wasn't emphatic. It really was a good argument, right? But again, though, to Callie's point, right? It's when you really start processing it out, right? And then you start thinking, even if I conceded to you, because I will, that the older gentleman, to HQ's point, is interested in you for your beauty. He probably don't want to have no more kids, nothing like that, right? But then you would have to concede then that if that's the problem, then The real issue is that you're looking for security and you know it's not there. And the children is the woman's biggest tool for security, right? In these relationships. So if he's not offering you the children and if he's not offering you the marriage, then you don't get the security. Could that be another reason why that programming existed in the first place of not dating older men?
Because if they don't want children.
Well, listen, we can use the Shannon Sharp and old girl. Do you think he was gonna marry her? Do you think he was gonna give her kids? No, right? Which is why she coming to get the bag this way, right? So I'm saying, could that have been the okay? Go ahead. Ann.
That's an interesting perspective. Quite possibly, yes. Especially in a dating climate where most people aren't getting married or are resistant towards marriage. A lot of women are leveraging what they do have to get some form of security.
Wait, did you say?
I don't think that's why she did it. I think she just saw a lick.
No, just to make sure, just to make
his wife.
sure, you are telling me that 50-something jacked, famous, multi-millionaire will have the OnlyFans models?
You said what about the OnlyFans model?
Like you're talking about Sharp and the OnlyFans girls, right?
Yeah.
You think Ken is going to cover OnlyFans model with her asshole out there and all that shit?
No, that's what we're saying.
What we're saying. That's
what we're saying, that he won't do it, right? So that's
so
that's the argument.
I just wanted
because
to
most men are most men in general are marriage resistant right now in this climate.
Yeah.
So women,
especially those kind of men. Yeah.
So to Bean's point, what do we bring to the bargaining table? If how do we secure our position if we cannot have children and marriage? To your point, yeah, that's the issue, which is why you see these very transactional relationships like the OF and the pay to play stuff going on. And
so I would ask, and this is, I'm just be honest. I know you and Callie specifically have a hard time speaking in generalities. I'm not even trying to be dish y'all when I say that.
They're not used to. Yeah, they will. They
you know
will
what
get.
I'm saying?
They're not
I'll
used to.
try to do my best.
But the question I was gonna ask is this though. So on one hand, we do have a lot of women saying, if men can do it, so can women, right? And they use that as their calling card for women can screw a lot of men too. Right? Oh, body count don't matter. Right? Women can screw a lot of men too. So if women are empowering themselves by saying we can screw a lot of men too, and we can have random sex, and if we want to, or have sex with somebody today and not have sex with somebody tomorrow, then why would that even be an issue in this relationship for this man to be having sex with somebody and not offering them security? Because not every single man that a woman sleeps with just wanted a one-night stand or just wanted sex. I would argue at least 49% of the men y'all deal with actually will want a relationship.
I would argue more, to be honest.
You see, so even and I know you're just going along with the thought pattern, Anna, and I appreciate that. If the issue in the beginning was, that's what I'm saying, from the beginning, right? Maybe it was, they just gonna have sex with you, they're not gonna take care of you, right? And this is previous to women having the financial empowerment that they have now. But if that was the initial thing, then it's like, okay, well, damn, but y'all want to be able to have sex with whoever y'all want to have sex with too. So why demonize this man just because he's not going to offer you the security in a world where we have Oprah Winfrey and Martha Stewart, you know what I'm saying? And, well, I can't say Jeff Bezos' wife because she got that through divorce, but you know what I'm saying? Y'all get to be billionaires now. Why can't we just move past that and say, hey, listen, if you want to have sex with a man, it don't matter how old he is, it's okay for you to do it. Because all of these rules don't even matter no more. We've turned the society into an egalitarian situation.
It's even dirtier than that.
You think the egalitarian is the problem?
100%.
It's even dirtier than that, podcast. If they find the older men they like they going, man. I'm sorry. These women are not telling no to Idris Elba. They are not telling no to Chestnut. They are not telling no to Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio. They are not telling no to them. Like, it's as long as you have money, status, and clout, young woman will always make an excuse to date you. You know, I'm going to go even further.
Wait. Fatty, let me ask you a question. Are you saying the same women who would
Same
date
woman,
the older
the same,
men are the same ones
same
shaming
woman.
the older
Hey,
men?
yeah, the same woman. You know why? I'm going to tell you this. Hey, fellas on the panel, how many times a woman came to you that was a little bit younger than you and says, "Oh, my friends say I'm an old soul and I am older than I really." I know you
Yeah.
tried to qualify yourself to me, so I don't look at you as a motherfucking child. But all the women do this shit. They will be very strong and saying older men shouldn't date younger women. And as soon as there's somebody that they like, they do it what they do with the man horse. I hate playboys. I hate guys that have multiple women. And then they fall in love with the playboy and they say, I know you say that to all bitches. I know that you have bitches, right? She doesn't want to leave. She wants you to convince her to stay. And that's what you do with rich, old, or with older dudes is you like him so much that you're trying to give yourself benefit of the doubt and plausible deniability. But as soon as the man convince you, now you're in a position of, I was against this, but he was so eloquent and he was so experienced, and I love the way he treated his daughters, and I love this and I love that. So yeah, I'll be with him. Y'all are not going to say no to an older man that you like. And my last question is going to be this, so the moderators can actually have it for the last 24 minutes. And Kelly and HQ. I have this 50-year-old man on the 50 mark, not HQ. You cheating. You are disqualified from this conversation. and Kelly, I have this 50-year-old 6'4" guy that lives in a mansion, is faithful, and he's your type. I don't know if you like bald man, shorter man. He's definitely your type. And he says, you know what, and here is a motherfucking ring. I want to marry you tomorrow, Kelly. I want to marry tomorrow. I've been watching you on Fatty Show. I want you so much. I'm not saying that you'll marry him. Would you give that man a chance?
Yes, absolutely.
What about you, Kelly? Thank you.
But it has nothing. Okay.
No, you
okay,
said
but
yes.
the point,
And look at the age gap going right off the window as soon as the guy actually meets some type of requirement. Go ahead, Dan. You got it.
Why do y'all even like them though? Why do y'all like Idris Elba? Why do y'all like Brad Pitt? Like y'all don't even know them.
Hey,
because other women like them.
No. Maybe it's just like we ain't got no type. Just find dudes are the only dudes that we like. Like
Now,
it's just it's like at the end of the day, like just like as much as guys might look at a woman and find her beautiful, the same reason a woman can look at a man and find him attractive.
So why do you
There
lie?
you go. Checkmate.
So why do you lie? Because this is what like
What
The
do you mean,
Rock
why do we
Johnson. The Rock Johnson is in his 50s. He can get every woman. I use this example all the time. I used to go watch Fast and Furious with women, and just to test him, they was, oh my God, Vin Diesel! Oh my God, look at him! And then I was like, hey, do you like men that are on steroids? And it says, no, I hate that shit. And I'm like, what? What? So let me see. You think these?
Well, maybe
50-year-old
they didn't know that he was on steroids.
but that's the point. Is the cognizant brain versus the subconscious brain. If you ask her opinion, she's going to say, I don't like a man on steroids. But then you ask, what do you think about Thor? What do you think about Chris Hemsworth or whatever the name of the dude, Chris Hemsworth? Like, what do you think about Thor? Oh my God. What do you think about Michael B. Jordan on Creed? Oh my God, he's so sexy. You think that motherfucker goes from Diesel Rumble style to just a regular dude? He's on steroids.
I did. I thought they did that.
But that's the thing. When you are conscious, you are going to say, I hate men on steroids. And then you're going to sit on the lap of Jonathan Majors because motherfucker looks like Hulk. That's the reality. Woman will say something, and they will literally go to the direction that they said they was going to go because they can dictate the attraction. Go ahead, podcast, and then the moderator.
Yeah. I'm sorry to the moderators. One question, because we didn't ever bring this up. I just thought about it. So I know that you all have said that you have a problem with the age gap dating, but what about if it's the man's or the woman, since Ann has been neutral all show long? What about if it's their preference? Does that make it even more problematic? Like it's literally their preference. It's not like they just so happen to meet a 20-year-old. That's what they go for.
Yeah, that's a weird thing for me. Big time. First of all, where would a 20-year-old and a 60-year-old meet in day-to-day life normally? Really, what social circles are we running in? That's first. But to the bigger point, regardless of the gender, I would think that young man who seeks out 60-year-old cougars specifically has a mommy issue. That's me. That's
Wait. Why can't I use why can't I just
only like 60-year-old women?
So what if I have an explanation? For example, they are easy to handle. I don't have to talk with them all day on the phone. They don't get pregnant. So it's just, hey, lady, can I come true? Absolutely, fatty. And then bye. See you later. What's wrong?
I mean, we understand that everybody has. We understand that everybody has fetishes, but it is all right to be like, if some fetish just ick you, so there's like an ick to you, you're still just like, it's still weird.
Wait. I don't understand. Like, what? Now we're demonizing young men.
No,
young men.
I'm not saying demonizing.
Men is just bad. Like I don't get you.
There is no winning, Chicky. There is no winning, Chicky. No winning.
You guys don't have a fetish. You don't have to go out there.
So here's what's going on, right? I'm noticing what's happening.
That's unfair.
It just sounds like men are bad, and it doesn't matter at what age.
Bro,
now we have young men going, you know what? I had my
mommy issues.
But then older, but guess what? I got mommy issues. Now my older man want to date young. She look fine. You're a predator. What the fuck is it?
That was a great catch. That was a great catch.
No,
I'm offended by that. I'm offended by Callie using the word fetish, though, right? This gets puts on men too much, right? In this space, Callie, people would tell you podcasts have a foot fetish. But my question is,
as you do,
okay, I'm not gonna argue with you. But here's the thing. Let's say that may be true. Can you explain to me why 80% of y'all shoes are open toe? I'll wait.
Because I have nice feet.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so who really has the foot fetish?
Okay.
Who really has the foot fetish?
No, listen. You could love yourself. I'm gonna tell you like, oh, I love this about my body, or I love that. Doesn't mean I have a fetish about myself. That's kind of weird, right?
No.
So it's just like,
right. So why we can't do the same thing externally? Why can't I believe you when you say you got nice feet too. Why can't I go to your Instagram right now and look at your feet and admire them and it not be a fetish?
Chill, big dog.
Why do it have to be a fetish?
Because it's still freaking fetish, bro. Just because you don't like the word. Listen, just because we gotta get out of this sensitive ass culture. Just because we don't like the word doesn't mean that it doesn't apply.
Right.
Fetish is racist.
Yeah,
okay, I'm just saying.
No, it is not.
Hey Kelly, just to give you to the moderators, again, men can't even win on that, right? If I like fat woman, is a fetish, and I'm a chubby chase. A woman says, I like big boys. Oh, you have the right to have your type, man.
That's a fetish too. If a woman likes big boys,
no, because you guys said, oh, I love dad bods. I love men that have a little bit chubby. You know,
right.
Nobody says you are fetishizing them.
In order
it's a great point, Fatty.
Your ideology, you're actually dismissing and disqualifying the positive of the other gender. Not all women think like this.
Right.
The issue is when we take one object and we make you that's the wholeness of you. That's the issue. That's what makes it a fetish.
Right.
And that's why when
Checkmate.
it comes to stuff, it's weird because you're only
Wait,
with
I'm
that person
confused.
who-
What's
Yeah.
wrong with having a fetish? That's what I'm saying. Like that's
So
where the
fatty,
confusion
y'all
lies.
can't say I got a fetish no more.
Why is
Thank
the
you, Ann.
word fetish bad? Like
Don't
it's
you
just
think
something
it's
that you
weird the only
want.
way you can get off is if you lick someone's toes and smell their armpits? That's the only way you can get off.
And that's still weird. It's a fetish, but it's
Whoa,
still
whoa,
weird.
whoa! What's weird about licking armpits?
Not weird.
What's
But
wrong?
that is
Hey,
my
what's weird?
argument.
Let's wash your armpits.
That is my
on?
argument, though.
Every
Okay, you
time
guys.
we have to lick armpits every time.
Wait.
Well,
I don't understand.
that is
What-
exactly my argument, though, is which I'm trying to say.
So what
Just
if- what
because
if he
something is
likes
a
every
fetish
part of
and you
your
like it
body,
doesn't mean
though?
it still can't be a bit
No,
weird. It's like
no, Kelly, but that's the thing.
It
One
is
thing-
weird. That's why I don't like the
You know,
word.
You know, Chiki is actually right? One
What if
thing
you like your
is,
whole body?
One
Like,
thing is,
just-
I only
Right.
get
With
excited
everything.
if I'm licking your armpit. That's kind of weird, right? But if I'm a person that says this is my woman,
Right.
I don't care. I will pull her motherfucking. I will lick inside of her.
Lick inside
That's my responsibility. That's my woman. I will
Don't think my tongue don't fit up your nose. That shit will fit, okay? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what is this?
Where did
Go
this
ahead.
conversation
That is
go?
retarded.
I got a fetish.
That is
It's
One
all
mic, one mic.
you, my fetish. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
One mic so people can hear you.
Wait, fatty, was you about to say I will pull her eyelids?
We
I will
inside
do
the
it.
cornea.
listen, we all got our own, like, you know, what we like. But we do have the right to say if your fetish is weird, it's a little bit weird, but that's still just what you do. That's the whole thing. Not all fetishes are weird. Some fetishes are dope. It just depends on the person. But
the thing is not the fetish, right? Because the fetish, I think everybody kind of accepts it, as long as it's not like a poop fetish or like crazy like that, right? Very good to leave it alone. Right? We're talking more about objectification, and I will say this: healthy objectification is nothing wrong with that as long as the two parties agree and understand what's going on. I say this all the time on a content creator side. If I'm not useful to y'all, I'm useless. Use me, pause, on a way that I actually can conduct either business to your, like, I want to technically be used because I will be useless if you guys couldn't take advantage of whatever I have going on. So if this man has money, if this woman has a good body and makes both of them can make each other feel good and go about their day, and they actually can kind of medicate each other to the point where they are better people afterwards, I don't see no problem with that. Because you know what? A woman that has her bill paid actually becomes free to do whatever she wants, which is something, in my opinion, good, because now she can actually care about the things she cares. And a man that is getting his dick sucked by a beautiful woman, that man will keep going and going. There's no school shooter in the history of mankind that just got laid and he had a great night. Says, you know what?
you act like women don't like
going
to
to
suck
shoot
dick.
up a school tomorrow. I fuck this shit. Like y'all.
No, it's not that. No, it's not that y'all don't like it, Callie. What it is it's the fact that women are fucking prostitutes. Like it's because it's the fact. Here it is, Callie. Well, wait, hold on, Callie.
Let us play,
Hold on,
let us
Callie.
play.
This is undeniable at this point because you already admitted that these relationships be transactional. We already solved for that, right? So that's what I'm saying. The fact of the matter is that for me as a man, right? Today, let's say today I meet Callie, right? And we start hanging out, we kick it, and I get to the point where I feel like I want to go down on Callie. I'm gonna go down on Callie, and the only thing I'm expecting from her is sex. I don't expect my bills paid. I don't expect lunch. Send me cash at me for lunch. I don't expect pay my car note. I don't expect none of that. Watch this. 30 years from now, I'll still be going down on Callie, and I won't have any other expectations outside of reciprocation. The problem with women is that at some point, you can't deny this. At some point, you want more than just sexual reciprocation. You want a ring, you want a wedding, you want a gown, you want kids, you want alimony, you want child support, you want a new house. 2 years later, you want another house, you want a new car. 2 years later, you want another car. It's never a fucking enough. And then y'all had that shit behind, we supposed to elevate. No, you supposed to suck dick because I'm your man.
Ooh.
That's the only reason why. It's because I'm your man and you chose to be with me. I gotta apologize to my mom and my auntie because they may be watching. But I just gotta say it the way I'm seeing it right now. That's the only thing you should need. You chose to be with me. That's it. This whole thing about, oh man, we gotta do like it's just crazy to me how women operate in 2025 when y'all's doing all this bragging about we buying more houses than y'all. And yet you still playing the same money games. You still want to be a prostitute and everything is for sale.
The weird thing about it is you are totally okay with eating coochie for the next 30 years because you love eating coochie, but you don't want to reciprocate that energy for what she needs and what makes her happy. It doesn't make her a prostitute to come to the table and ask, as my man, can you also provide in the ways that make me happy? What if she's on a period and she doesn't want to get her coochie eaten? You still want to eat the coochie. She's going to let you eat the coochie. Why? Because that's something you do from the pure enjoyment of being an A1 coochie eater. That is what I'm talking about.
He's gaslighting you, Ed.
No, it's okay. I see what she's doing. I got it. Let her finish. I see what she's doing.
We love that you love eating coochie, but recognize that is something that Beans does because Beans is an A1 coochie eater. You are going to eat coochie whether it's Callie or Michelle Obama. That's what you want to do because it's you. At the end of the day, though, what makes it transactional and problematic is when you expect to get your needs satisfied, or the coochie eating, right? You only want me for the coochie eating. You don't want to show up for me at my mom's funeral. You don't want to show up when we are trying to buy a house. You don't want to actually reassure me when I need you. You just want to get coochie eating and done. And that's not how relationships work. You have to love the person for the totality of that individual.
Absolutely. So here's the thing though. Now, what if I told you I need you to show up for me and pay all my bills?
If I love you, I would.
For the rest of our lives,
I wouldn't lie to you.
Wait, for the rest of our lives, you'll be the provider for the entirety of our relationship. 30, 40 years until I die. You'll be the provider.
And that's what you need from me?
Yeah, that's what I want from you. Not need.
I
want,
so,
right? It's the entirety of me.
If I don't do that, are you not going to want to be with me?
Say that again.
If I do not provide for the next 30 years, I provide for 20 years, you don't want to be with me anymore.
Well, but see, I'll answer that, but you have to answer my question first. Are you going to play provider for the entirety of a relationship?
I already said
30,
yes.
40 years.
I already said yes if that's what you need from me. Yes.
Okay.
However, my question for you was, let's say I only provide for 29 years. Now, all of a sudden, you're leaving me? Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely. We already acknowledged earlier.
Okay, that is the
wait. Hold on. And we already acknowledged this, right?
I don't
for whatever reason you don't want to accept this. This is why I said Cheeky, when Cheeky asked that question, he asked it to Callie. He should have been asking it to you. So since you're here now and on camera, let's ask it to you. Have you ever been in a relationship?
Yes, I have.
Did that relationship end?
Yes, it did.
Why?
I was not emotionally prepared to keep being in the relationship.
Would you say that you were in the same place you were at the beginning of the relationship that you were at the end of the relationship?
The same place? Like
yes. Everything. Was everything exactly the same in the beginning as it was at the end?
No.
So something changed and you decided to leave.
Something changed within me.
Something changed within you?
Yeah. It wasn't the relationship. I had changed.
Right. What was that change? You weren't happy anymore. You wanted something different. Like what was it? Are you saying you became a different person?
We experienced a major grief together, and the way I processed the loss of that person, made me a very different person.
Absolutely.
Made it difficult to. It changes your reality. And
absolutely.
I could not be a good partner, even for him or myself. And
absolutely.
That's why the
absolutely. So here's the thing. Even by your I'm sorry to hear that, but even by your own take, right? You have to concede to this, Ann, because if you're saying that I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna give you all the head you want, right? But then it's this other thing you might need me to do. If I'm not doing these other things that you need me to do, can't you just concede that you're not going to stay in the relationship?
But it had nothing to do with him, really.
I'm not talking about him no more. I'm leaving that alone because
What
that
I'm
was too
saying is-
personal.
what
I'm just
saying
saying in
is,
general, can't you
regardless of
concede to that?
If you stop eating my coochie,
No. What you wanted. You said be at your mama's funeral. I don't show up. You said when you ready to buy a house, I'm not buying it with you. I don't put the money down with you. All the things that
correct,
you need.
but it's not the performance of it. It's a reflection of the lack of connection we have. That's my issue.
What I'm asking you is a yes or no. If
You
I'm
guys
not
have
doing
one-
these things
you
that
guys have
you
one more
want me to
minute,
do,
please,
you're
about the
saying you're
coochie
going to
conversation.
still stay in the relationship? You
If the
want all
connection
of us
is-
to accept that?
If our connection is strong, right?
What would you be connected to? I'm not doing anything you want.
Okay. When you build intimacy with someone, it's not about what you do or don't do. I don't judge you by the fruits of your labor, me personally. In general, most women, because they enter relationships transactionally, and most women need men to perform in order for them to be satisfied, will absolutely leave. However, what I'm advocating for us is as a community to expect more from us, because we can't keep throwing people away just because they don't perform the way we want them to. So what I'm saying
that
is
sounds good, but it's just it's very naive.
no, but then I'm naive because I don't want any relationship not like that. I don't want you to be with me because I do X, Y, and Z. What if one day I lose my legs, right?
No, I understand what you're saying. I just
no,
want you to- the complication. What you're suggesting for the community on
I'm
a
asking
macro
for us to
level
go
is
beyond what we are struggling with as a society.
Listen, what I'm saying. What you're suggesting on the macro level is a great idea that people stop discarding folks and holding folks to delusional standards, right? I understand that. But what I'm saying is what you're also saying out of your mouth that everybody knows is not true is that if you're in a relationship with a guy who's literally just sitting there not doing anything that you need, nothing that you need, you're not going to stay. You're not going to spend 5, 10, 15, 20, 35, 40 years just sitting, coming home to a guy that's just there. And you're not getting any of your needs met.
And to be honest with you, unfortunately, a lot of women stay past the expiration date of their relationships, and they do struggle and try to get him to do X, Y, and Z, and
Just
go to
the
therapy,
woman.
and do all of these things to try
Yeah.
to get that connection back. Because
Yeah.
men do absolutely do what you just say in marriages at certain
They
points.
do. I ain't
And
gonna front.
they
They
don't
do,
just get up and leave, right? They do everything to try to restore it. And then even at that point, when they realize that's not even working, they leave because the connection is gone.
Yeah, I agree with you, but that's what I'm you're saying the connection.
I'm not just getting up
the
and
connection
leaving
was based
because
on what he
there's
was
stuff.
doing.
I'm fighting
That's
for
your
us. I'm trying
argument.
to figure out what happened.
You're arguing that the connection was never an intimate when it was based on his performance. I get that.
Friends, we have to go to the panelists. One question per moderator, please, because we extinguished the time. And friends, we're not going nowhere. I have a panel right after these ones, so stay here. It's going to be a fun one because I already saw the people on the panel, and I know how that shit is going to go left. So it is what it is. We need $80 via PayPal or Cash App for the hamburger fund. So if you had fun on these 2 hours that we gave you, please support the hamburger fund via Cash App or PayPal.
I would like to buy the burger.
I would like to buy a hamburger.
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 The burger.
And finally, thank you very much to all the content creators in the. It was a, but I will repeat this again. If these had 2,000 people watching, will be the best show in town. Respectfully, this has been over and over again. I want to commend the people on the panel. These channels only go as far as the people that show up. Y'all are quality panelists. So once again, I truly appreciate you. And whatever we end up on, I'm taking every and single one with you, with me, other than HQ. HQ staying. Fuck HQ. HQ is staying. I'm just.
That sounds like manipulation right there, man.
Yeah, that sounds like manipulation. Hey, I'm lucky I'm only 35. So Papi Blanco, Betty Red, Nino, ask the questions to both sides, one question each. I'll read the super chats, and then we go to the other motherfucking panel. Thank you very much, Tariq. I appreciate it. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Sexy Red. I mean,
damn, you did it too.
Freudian slip.
So for both sides, so for the ladies, you're kind of against the age gap. So I want to know, and don't give me a mathematical equation. I want to know a number. what is the age gap that you would say no to? 5 year, 3 year, 10 year, 20 year? What would be that gap? If if the young lady, so I'm saying this for the ladies, if it's a young lady, if she's 19, 20, what would be the gap? No mathematical equations. I want to know.
I like this.
Over 5 years wouldn't work for me.
And
Yeah. I'd say 8 years or more.
Callie?
I say over 10 years.
10, okay. All right, fellas. If it is a young man, what is the age gap of the cougar that's after him?
73. I don't give a fuck if
I
a
really
man
don't like that.
No, if there's no number. If a man wants to be Madonna or share Sugar Baby, like go ahead and do it, brother. Go see Europe. I don't care if you fucking that shit or not. Like men are not picky, and we're not going to say, "Oh my God, please stop! Don't date Madonna." Go ahead and date her if you want to date her. It's totally fine. Get the power imbalance.
Daddy,
God,
may I ask you something?
another quick question. Yes.
If you had a son who was 13 and he told you a 33-year-old woman was trying to have schmex with him, and he got
How old is he?
Your son is 13.
13.
Come on, we're going adult.
That's a little extreme.
No. If his daughter is
That's crazy. And again, y'all like to go to extremes. Okay.
No,
and by the way, one second. And I'm going to tell you this. Last time somebody asked me about 16-year-olds, I got in trouble. That's all I'm going to say, right?
Okay, let's say it's 17.
But on a serious note, you are a kid. Go at 13, you should even be having sex, to be honest.
Right.
To me is high school and up, and in high school you should be dating women in high school. After you go to college, then you can do whatever the fuck you want. So 18 in one day, you go get HQ and you show her what you got, son. You got it. I know you got it.
Show what you got, little mama.
What you got. I don't care. Yeah, go ahead, have fun. It's fine.
To answer Red's question, I agree with Fatty. Like I'll be honest with you, Red. So it's not really a number for me. What it is the look. That's really what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how you got the grandmama look. You see these, like, you know that's somebody grandmama. Not just because you know she's 40 or 50, but she look like a grandmama. If I see grandmama on the cane, old as hell, overweight, gray, fat ass kneecaps and shit, and she outside walking around or riding around with some 19-year-old boy, I'm gonna beat both their ass. Okay. But if you what's old girl name? If you Jada Pinkett mama, or if you Nicole Murphy, do your thing.
I think that's like the realest shit someone said, because at the end of the day, I was kind of thinking the same thing a little bit, because that's why I said it was more of like a society norm, because it's like it's sad because it just shows it's pretty privileged.
So you are agreeing with? So you literally agree with us? You know what's funny? They literally agree with us. If the person looks good enough, you can go.
Right.
If the man, if the woman looks good enough, if the man looks good enough,
I don't agree with that.
Go.
I'm just saying I can understand his perspective. I can see what he's saying. But it's because I can understand his meaning and I agree with you.
Hey Kelly, it's the same thing as the cat call and the sexual harassment. If he's a 6'4" handsome dude in a Lamborghini, there's a cat call. If he's dated DeVito with his tank top and mustard on it, and then when the fuck he's on a bicycle, oh my god, this is gross.
This nigga said Danny DeVito.
It's the same thing. It just depends on what the person actually wants.
What?
What about
dumbass?
Can you answer the question real quick, Cheeky?
Yeah, there ain't no real age limit. It's more so like the intention behind a woman really that will bother me. Like, you can be old and nice and I'll be like, go for her, but you can be young and a succubus and I'll be like, ditch her. So to me is more like a personality character thing than it is age.
Next moderator, please. Thank you very much, Petty Red, for staying there, pretty and petty. Nino and Papi Blanco.
Go ahead, Nino.
I guess my question would be: do you feel as though younger women are actually attracted to older men, and older men are attracted to younger women naturally?
Good question.
That's two. Can you pick a side?
What do you mean?
It depends on what the man looks like.
Everybody.
Yeah, no, it's big. Friends are really.
Yeah, I think in general they're not, and that's why they require the bag, because the bag makes them forget how much they are attracted to him naturally.
So it's not genuine. That's what you're saying. Well, what you're saying is that it's not genuine.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
That's all we can say.
You know why I disagree. You know
Somebody lying. That's all.
Hey, you know why I disagree, Nino? You know why I disagree? Let me tell you why I disagree. And I saw this on my first job. When I used to work on Pizza Hut, I was like 16, 17, 18. All the girls from, because like the age of consent in Portugal is 16 and up, right? Either you was the them, the 20, the 21, the 22, the 23, they all wanted the 50-year-old boss. And it was not fake just because he has money. It was the position of power. He dressed different. He dressed more on a suit, and he has like we are just rolling around. We are just dumbasses. The man pulling up in a good car. Like, it makes, like, they actually like him.
That's not the question.
Yes,
they actually like him. It was not just because he had shit. You could see how they talk about him. He's in a position of power, and he was in a position of reverence for whatever reason.
That's not the question that he asked. What he asked was, were we naturally attracted? And
yes.
No, we're
naturally attractive older men are going to attract.
Women.
Wait. So what's that?
Is it the female's turn or is it y'all's turn? I thought he
said it was for everybody.
Yeah, it's for everybody.
Yeah. So HQ, let me ask you something. If I show up on a suit and smelling like $1,000, do you like me naturally, or do you like me because I pull up in a suit and smelling extremely well? Both of them are natural, right?
Depends on how old you are.
What?
That's the point. That's the point, because that's Nino's question.
So if I'm 50,
if I'm 19, I'm not attracted to an older man that's 39.
So, but did you never saw a woman saying, I don't like older men, and then a 50-year-old man comes in on a motherfucking 3-piece suit, smelling good. He went to the barber and he does the little hug, and the woman's like, "Oh my God, you smell so nice!" And all of a sudden, it's game on. All of a sudden, it's game on.
Here's the thing: we can find older men attractive. Of course, we can find older men attractive, but the minute they come and approach us, it's a different story. We're not attracted to them, not naturally. That's why I said 1 to 2% of the population dates a bigger age gap than normal than every other person. So if it was a bigger percentage that liked older men and women, then it would be a bigger percentage of people who go for it, and it's not. So it's only a small percentage that goes for the way older. So
yeah, because I think the average is only about 3 to 5 years. So she's right about that. But now, to answer your question, Nino, I'll put you like this: up until 30 years old, the man up until 30, yes. In his 40s, if he like still super attractive, yes. Past 50, that shit is all he could provide for me. All of it.
So y'all never heard a young woman say, "Oh, I don't date guys my own age; they too immature for me."
Absolutely. I hear that.
That still wasn't 30 years. That still wasn't a 20-year-old saying that for a 50-year-old. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree with you, Podcast. I think it's a point where like too old. Like 70-year-old. Nobody attracted to 70-year-olds. I get you.
Do you think those women will see The Rock and they'll say, "Nope, too old, 52. I only did 49 years old." Like,
no, she'll take The Rock and sleep with the guy her age.
Yeah, but to answer your question, yeah, but you got to think about it again. It's The Rock, right? I'm saying, do you think the average dude, let's take a dude on the street that work at T-Mobile, but he built like The Rock, but he also 55 years old. They're going to be calling him Grandpa Dick too.
And they will still want to fuck him. They will podcast and they will still want him. Especially, you know what? Especially if the cute girl wants him, like the it girl is a small need one woman to like that motherfucker for all of them to say, yo, no, I would that do too.
Now that's true. Yeah.
It's circumstantial.
It don't work like that for women. I keep.
Also, as men, y'all don't think it's weird when your 50-year-old, 55-year-old peer is still working at Verizon? Y'all are settled with your wives and your families, and he's still trying to get 8-year-old.
No, it's not weird. No, it's not weird at all.
Yeah, that's not.
But that's what I'm talking about, though, Fatty. I'm saying if he The Rock, right, but he 56, whatever, and he work at, like she said, Verizon, T-Mobile, some shit like that. He driving a Nissan Maxima. That dude, not today's young girls. Today's young girls believe that niggas supposed to be millionaires at 25.
But the thing is actually it sounds like women that actually don't understand me. Like
we know they don't. Yeah, you're right.
It still look like for example, if I am the head of the Bank of America. And Anne is serving tables on the restaurant that I go every motherfucking lunch every day, and she is nice to me. She makes me feel good. I get excited every time I go in the restaurant because it's actually nice to me, bro. I'm going because I don't get up like it's we like y'all. We kind of like y'all. You like people that makes us feel good. I'm not looking for another Bank of America director. I like her because I see her every day. I see her being nice to other people, which is actually cool too. So I'm going. Women don't understand that shit. Like we keep explaining to them, is how you make us feel and how you treat us. And instead of saying, "I got you," I get my career going, so Fatty can look at me as a valuable a partner. No, I see you as a valuable partner. If you're motherfucking on the fryer and McDonald's, I don't give a fuck about the other things. And that's how men lose, because we actually love you. Like we don't look at you as.
Tell them again, Fatty. We actually what?
We actually love them. There's a
exactly checkmate.
Because if we dated you like we date us, y'all will be back in the kitchen and pregnant so fast it will not even be funny. Last question for Papi Blanco. Read the super chats, and then we go to another panel. Friends, every single content creator is already tagged in the description, so please go ahead and follow them. All of them, please make the Untouchables look good. And thank you, Theo, for dropping the links all show, all the time, every time on the chat. Go ahead and follow them too. Shout out to Jack. I think he's going to be the sponsor of the show, but we'll celebrate him in 5 minutes. Papi Blanco, last question, and then you tell us who won so I can go to the other panel.
Okay. We've been here for what, 2 hours and 20 minutes?
Yeah, 2.
Have your for the ladies, have your views changed on age gap dating for the past 2 hours and 20 minutes after listening all the information that these people gave you?
Not really, no.
Cali say no. African Queen, what's your question? I mean, what's your answer? Sorry.
Oh, me? Oh.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sorry, I thought I was still me. To an extent, a little bit, but it's only changed in this sense where I do think it's very unfair to assume that just because a certain dynamic exists, it always is going to end up in harm, abuse, et cetera, right? Like that is maybe something we don't want to generalize. And it could be helpful and useful for some folks. However, it did make me more clear on what I think manipulation looks like, and it helped me recognize, like, okay, this is a two-way street. Like people can be manipulated, people can be hurt. Period.
Right.
To my sugar mama, HQ, go ahead, answer.
No, my view on it hasn't really changed. I mean, because I understand the dynamic, the manipulation, coercion. That particular part has changed for me. Yeah, it could be manipulation on both sides. Primarily, it would be on the male side because he has more experience and more life experience and more whatever. But that's the only thing that has changed, right? And I mean, I can't help it. Younger women are not attracted to older men like that. They just are not, unless it's going to be some kind of monetary, more of a transactional thing.
Agreed.
I think that I understand all of their perspectives, but I still feel the way I feel. Like I understand where they're coming from, though.
I got a phone call real quick. Yeah, this is Jared. Yeah, I want to cancel that toe ring. And I told y'all I told y'all. Yeah. Nah, she ain't changed her mind, so that shit over with. All right, bet, cool.
A toe ring will be they'll be only fitted. You will put yourself on your knees just to give her a toe ring. That's crazy.
That's the fact. I had it ordered and everything. I was like, I know she changed her mind. Let me get it.
Everyone answer Pepe Blanco question? Everyone?
All the girls, I think they did, yeah.
Okay, so Frank,
for the guys, hold on, I got a question for y'all too, man. What the hell? What the hell?
He's disrespectful. He don't care about us. Go ahead.
Yo, man, since the introduction of social media, right? Which is why like 15, 20 years, give it or take, starting with Facebook. Yeah, about 18, yeah. Why do you think that they paint this age gap relationship in such a negative way?
That's a good question, man.
you want me to answer?
Yeah. Be nice.
Because old woman can compete against younger woman, so they try to get them out of There's a younger woman usually never complain about 21-year-old woman never complain about it. They start to get closer to 30, they start to talking. 35, 40. It wasn't Ann that said if you are you should be dating. No, we shouldn't. No, we shouldn't. And that's the game. Your biggest fear is to give your body 3 kids to the same man, and once he gets 45 and you are 45, he replaces you with a younger woman. That's your biggest fear. That's all you complain about. Look at this man being mature. She gave everything to you, and now you replace her with a new girl. Right? So they all do this noise because they want to protect their assets, which is men, their donkeys, their horses, the people that carry the load for them. You're not going to steal my horse, you won't, bitch. So they don't have problem with the men. They are shaming them, and they are gaslighting the younger woman to get out of the way. Leave this 20-year-old man that was on his career for 20 years and is now 45 to take care of me. Go get it. Actually, I'll take everything back. Do you ever saw a tall woman saying, why is this midget 4'11" bitch likes a man that is 6'4"? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. They are tall, so they want tall men, so they want to take the tiny little girls out of the way because you shouldn't need a 6'4", man. You need a 4'5". Get out of my way. That's exactly what it is. It's competition. Women say they don't want to compete with each other, but inadvertently they always do. So
okay,
that's my
so since you took that angle, I'm gonna steal Fatty's point from earlier, and I would say I think it's because they can't manipulate them guys, right? I think that we in that climate now. The reason why they talking crazy about them is because they know it's a whole lot of the Shannon Sharp going on. It's a whole lot of hot sauce in the condoms going on, right? Like they can't manipulate these older guys no more like they used to. So now I think that's probably one of the reasons why you see it particularly on social media more so than in the real world.
But you don't
Chicky?
think
Hold on. Let Chicky answer, baby.
Oh.
I think the reason why they do it is because women like to project their experiences on the other women. Because that's just something that they do. They got girl code and they got all kind of things that make them feel unified in their experience. So I think that is what happens. They push it on other women, and then they do it because that may have been their experience, but they don't take enough time to really be introspective enough to figure out if it was them and what they were trying to do. So
that's literally what you guys think of women. Like we're just some manipulative ass, like
Yeah.
I didn't say you
Yeah.
manipulative. I didn't. Whoa, wait. I didn't say manipulative. All I said is you project. Right?
You really asking that question?
Like, that's literally
Everybody
what.
projects. Men
After
project.
2 hours of us trying to convince
Yeah.
you that men ain't manipulative just because they older, you go ask us if we think women are manipulative.
And then the thing is, we literally agreed that y'all are projecting because why you think negatively? Like the first thing y'all do is
Right,
be taking advantage.
immediately.
And it wasn't even a
It
thought
can't
like,
be
oh,
off of. It can't be just projection. It could also be a sense of caution, right? Because women are
where's the
nurturers. They want
caution
to
coming
also.
from?
That is
No,
crazy.
not just
Callie.
from not
Stop
just
that.
from not just from men though. I'm not saying just from men. Like I'm not
Where
a
is the
man versus
caution
woman
coming
type
from?
person.
Yeah, where's the
Huh?
caution coming from? Sure, where's that coming from?
Coming
What
from
made you cautious?
Right. The
just from
programming.
people in general, like just from
What kind
life
of people?
experience, life experience.
It ain't
So
a,
no,
look,
so
Callie,
nobody
hold on.
telling you.
HQ
So nobody
already
telling you
admitted.
look out for these kind of men. Look out for
Oh
older
yeah,
men.
people in my
They-
family have told me, look
And
out.
what would you
Stay
call
right
that?
there. Stay right there. Callie, yes, but HQ already admitted it ain't even enough of the damn relationships anyway for people to have that big of a concern about them. It can't be the majority of them in this way. You see what I'm saying? It's just not even plausible. So that's why it's like, no, y'all the manipulative ones. We done with this shit. That ain't your hair. Your lips ain't naturally that damn color.
I think
Okay.
both sides are.
I just went to your
manipulative.
Instagram. You manipulated me. I'm looking for toes. This is some bullshit. Y'all are the manipulative ones.
I don't. So because I don't post feet pics,
Just put them on the
I
on the screen so we can get this over with.
Yes,
Just
you
throw 'em in.
manipulated
literally
me.
have a
Get this over with.
You manipulated it. You said shit. I got pretty feet, right? And then you got your Instagram right there. We go to it, no feet. Manipulation.
That I cannot believe this nigga, bro. Anyway, I would just say that's my thoughts. I think women need to they need to stop projecting, right? And men need to stop projecting as well. I think both sides, but specifically women, and they need to look at the character of the person that they're dealing with. And that'll solve a lot of problems, and not what he has and what he look like. That's the issue that both sides keep running into, mainly women, because niggas ain't getting none for broke women. They all broke. Either y'all broke or stingy.
And friends, the moderators and the judges are going to say who won the debate. I'll read the super chats, and then I'm going to a panel. I'm going to either stream a little bit and then redirect, or redirect immediately. So stay put. We're not going anywhere tomorrow. Hey Nino, what the fuck, Nino? The fuck, Nino? The fuck, Nino? Why you?
I didn't do it.
Tomorrow,
Yo, I carrying this nigga, dog.
Tomorrow we have the ladies, the infamous ladies first show at 5. Another banger. This week had great shows. I'm tired, but I'll try to do best. And afterwards, we're going to go to Thomas Legacy, talk about the Battle of Sexy show that we review. So, once again, moderators and judges, who won this Rage in the Cage debate?
Go ahead, Sexy Ray. Go ahead. I mean, Petty Ray.
I'm going to give it to the men because right out the gate, the ladies were contradicting themselves. Some were agreeing with each other, and then they were disagreeing with each other. They didn't have a cohesive thought about certain questions that were being posed to them. Then in the end, they conceded a lot to what the men were saying. So I'm gonna have to give it to the guys.
It's a great take.
Go ahead, Nino.
They won this round.
Thank you very much.
I
Let's
will
go.
get on the next round.
Do not put us on the same team. Do not put all three of us on the same team. Do that.
She said, thank you, Kelly, by the way. Appreciate it. For your opening statement that make me change teams for where I wanted to be. Blanco.
All right. Who wanna manipulate me out of the ladies' men to get my vote?
Oh shit!
I got over there. Let's call the deal, man. HQ, what you got? Kelly, what you got? African Queen, what you got?
Damn.
Yeah, I guess I ain't get nothing.
You take
man. Hey,
Bitcoin.
man.
Do you take Bitcoin?
I take everything.
Hey, shit.
Yo, this was
Perfect
That
it
was
was
smooth. That was
this
smooth.
was over before it started because as soon as my African queen said that it was transactional, it was a wrap right there, right?
All right.
Now you know what you're getting right there, and everything you do in life, queens. This is for the queens. Everything you do in life is to manipulate somebody. It start from early. Even my own daughter be trying to manipulate me. I got there on 6, 7 years old to get me to to do stuff for her. After I put on punishment, that's in your nature, man.
For your dad.
In your blood. It's in your blood.
Ain't that some shit? But your dad, you are a racist.
So the Nino Nation, who gets the vote?
Oh man, yeah, it was over early as far as I was concerned. I'm going with the guys on this one.
Psych.
Who's calling that shit? Who's calling that shit? Who's calling that shit? Who's calling that shit? Who? Yeah. OVO Sound 2025.
Thank you, feminism, for these for serving these three